Hey guys, welcome back to Rewatchable. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And watch this for the first time ever. For the first time ever, we are also live right now on Instagram.
I said y'all.
We do.
Hello, Instagram people. I don't have an Instagram account, but I love you. I love your faces. I love you. Welcome to the show.
I do wonder if it's weird. Hopefully the sound's still okay and everything. We've never tried this before, so if there's any technical difficulties, please let us know, because this is a first time for us. We're streaming to Instagram as well. So how are you all? How is everyone? Happy Saturday. What day is it?
Holy
Saturday.
Testicle Tuesdays. It's Saturday.
Saturday.
It's
been a whole week since we've done a stream.
I just finished watching the second episode of Daredevil Game.
It's good.
Woo!
Go ahead.
Dude, it was really. I actually liked it a lot. The acting was going to be amazing. It was great. The lighting, the music. I like that street level justice stuff they're going for. It's still as gritty as the Netflix. I was just overall impressed with it. I'm getting a little bored of the courtroom stuff. I know that's a big part of Matt Murdock's character. Obviously, he's the lawyer, and that makes sense. But I did you only got that one brief moment with him and Bullseye on the rooftop in that suit. And then it's gone, and it's been gone since that episode. But it was a shocker. The opening was I was like, oh, I see what you do here, butterfly effect.
Hey, Iron Wolf, I'll have you know this is 1080p, pal. This is not 720. It's 1080. I just wanted to get that straight right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, first two episodes, 9 out of 10 for me as well. That opener, we won't give away anything for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but the opening to Daredevil, Firstborn, or whatever the hell it's called. Born again Christian man is a lovely Trump would love it. It's Christ. It's all the things that we love about this great
one of the most holy parts of it. Yes. And Trump is definitely a holy man. Here's the thing. I know there was some you had told me before, because I hadn't seen it yet. You're like, well, there might be some parallels and some people might get turned off with Kingpin. I got it. I kind of see it, but it was also apparently it's a kind of a take on the mayor of New York right now that's going through a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that. I kind of feel like that dude in Constantine was like, you play a very dangerous game.
No, like you want a lot. Now, when I start to notice that, I'm like, nope, never mind. I'm not going to pay attention to that. Because you know what? Like the opening to that, man, the opening 10 minutes goes, guess what? You thought you might be out, you're in. Like the scene, there is a little bit of that sort of ugly kind of Marvel shooting stuff going on for the most part. But I don't care. When the fight scenes are that good, the fight scenes are that good.
They were amazing.
When the brutality is that good. And honestly, the dialogue was super good. The Heat rip-off scene, which I don't care if you rip off Heat as long as you do it good. The Heat rip-off scene between him and Kingpin in the diner was top-notch. That was great. Mm-hmm. They literally even the conversation went the same route as Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. But and the way the second episode ended, you're right. The second episode was a lot more setup and stuff like that. They surprising crap in the first 10 minutes.
The ending of the second episode made me thirsty for more. Give me some more H2O for me thirst. Because
that scream,
I was like, "You're back! You're back in the saddle, DT." I hope, dude. That's why it made me really I was like, God, it sucks about the new schedule because it's only going to drop every Tuesday, which is this. It's going to drop every Tuesday until the 5th episode, and then they're going to do a 2-parter for the 5th and 6th. Which it is what it is. But yeah, I wish they had just Netflix dumped it all over our faces. Give me that good dump. But unfortunately, they didn't.
He loves it. Jay just loves it.
I want it all in my face. I know you do. I know you want me to, so you can film it. I am tired of the innuendos of the homosexuality coming from your camp. It is ridiculous. Of course, I like men, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not gay. There's nothing wrong with best friend.
I was talking about loads of something else, but that's fine too. We can talk about poop. But no, I do think it's. I saw some criticisms of it. It was funny because Vincent D'Onofrio, is that how you said? He was on Twitter and someone was like, "Your character sucked and the show's awful." And he's like, "Thanks, dumbass." Or he's like, "Thanks for the support, dumbass," because the guy's name was Dumbass. And it was like, I think the guy was just trolling though. There was he was like, I didn't like the first 2 episodes, but he thought the whole thing was going to suck. I was like, I don't really know how you watched that show and thought it didn't live up to exactly what they promised from that they were going to continue with the gritty legacy that Netflix left behind, because they did.
I thought it was fantastic, dude. I really
and also his suit. I saw some people getting mad about his suit. I thought his suit looked good.
Yeah, I thought it looked fine. And also here's the thing, and I know that I liked it, and I know that I really truly liked it deep inside my cockles. That battery's low, buddy. You better get on
What?
the other one. You look like a freight train.
No, it was my inner dragon. I'm hardest to my inner dragon.
Remember in Sidekicks when he's getting trained by the drunk dude, and he's like, "I shall call you Mr. Dumpling."
Mr. Dumpling.
I don't know why that just popped into my head. But what was I going to say? I don't know what I was talking. No, it actually made me want to go back and watch the old Daredevil and the Punisher and stuff like that. So and watch the episodes again. Because the music was good, like everything was good, man. I really enjoyed it.
I'm actually shocked that they didn't pop Bernthal in there yet. I figure they would have had him in the second episode at least, because they've already dropped his name once. So
yeah,
they haven't outright said it, but they've alluded to him.
There's some rumors going on that the greatest Punisher of all time, Thomas Jane, could be in season 2. Jay and I were at Comic-Con in Lexington this weekend, way better than Scarefest. I don't know if everyone knows that, but they should. Absolute great time, well planned, well-oiled machine, great stuff, awesome vendors, just an absolute blast. But and we posted some stuff on Instagram. If you didn't see that, Jay got to try like 4 different beers. It was a crazy time, and we have a video coming out for it, full of lots of crazy stuff. But Thomas Jane was supposed to be at Comic-Con this weekend, and he had to cancel last minute because he got some work, they call it. You know what they're filming right now? They're filming Daredevil Born to Rise against
that was my next
season 2.
That's what it was.
Multiverse Punisher? Anyone?
I'm kind of like, I hope, it would be cool to see Thomas Jane come back as the Punisher in some form or another. But I kind of want them to get away from the multiverse stuff and stay away, like, especially with this kind of show, and keep it more ground level, keep it more gritty with those kind of, because I want to tell, like, those stories are more fascinating to me than like cataclysmic world ending events, which you see that in the Avengers and stuff. But I want to see just like this ground level hero, and Bernthal's fine. I think Bernthal's great.
Listen, Bernthal's awesome, but you guys, I see you in the chat. Bernthal was in the best Punisher. He was in the best Punisher. That doesn't make him the best Punisher. That's Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
It's just a fact. Look it up.
Thomas
It's in the
Jane,
Geneva Convention.
Yeah, it was. It was written in the Accords of 1875. I was there. But no, it is true. Thomas Jane, he had the Punisher movie that he was in was just a really poorly written script. And John Travolta totally phoned that in as the bad guy. It was like, he just didn't care. He's like, I got to get another facelift. I came here for the money. You could tell John Travolta really didn't care about that movie at all. But they did. But to show that Thomas Jane really did love that character, he put his own money and time and effort in to make that YouTube short, Dirty Laundry, which was awesome. Which a lot of people forget about that. That was the Punisher he thought he was going to be playing, and it was just watered down.
This is embarrassing, dude. I just popped over and looked at the Instagram stream, and there's 5 people watching on Instagram. That's big numbers.
That's a huge
big numbers over
big
on
number
Instagram.
Right there.
I do want to say, for those people watching, we have a way bigger audience on YouTube. Someone's like, who are these guys? Oh, I met them the other night. Let's see how they're feeling. There's like 4 people watching, and they're like, oh, wow, so they suck. All right.
That's all right. That's all right. You come on. If you want to stay, there might be crackers later on. You just have to show up. But yeah, dude, overall, I thought Daredevil was great. I can't wait to see more of it. Like, it was really nice to be this excited for a TV show again. Like, the last time was probably Cobra Kai, and that fizzled out. So it's really cool I'm actually looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it, man. And speaking of episodes, on tonight's episode, we'll start it off here in a second, and we'll just get to what you guys are saying. Over here, let me show this to you. A little rusty. Okay, it's been like a week since we've done this. It's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get my nuggets. Don't you worry about how. However,
Dylan said, while seen on Instagram. No, it's crazy. It's popping off over there.
Things are nuts. Yeah, I got a whole 9 people in there. It was the first time doing it, so But so we're doing this. We're taking a look. I got all the franchises pulled up here. We're going to take a look at them, and then we are going to decide not what the best movie is, not what the worst movie is, but in every franchise, what's the most rewatchable movie in the franchise? The movie that makes you want to just like, if you're not a completist, you don't have to start at the beginning. Just a really easy, fun one to watch that it just goes down smooth for each franchise. Starting with Scream.
Yeah.
Starting with you.
By the way, this really quick before I found out something really interesting about John Carpenter today. I didn't know. I saw this it was only like a 3-minute clip from some podcast that he had done, and they were asking about a particular movie. And I didn't even know he directed this movie, but do you remember a movie with Chevy Chase called Memoirs of an Invisible Man that came out in the early 90s? Yeah,
that's Carpenter.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but apparently it was not a great experience for him, and they were asking about it, and he said he said that was an experience that he said he almost quit the business altogether. Like John Carpenter said that, and they were like, what happened? And he said, so apparently that particular movie, Chevy Chase wanted to be a serious actor, and John Carpenter's like, he was making the transition from being slapstick funny guy, and he wanted to be a serious actor, but he said the studio wanted it to be like a National Lampoon's Invisible Man. And he said Chevy was a producer on the set or on the film. And he said, I think the guy that was interviewing him was like, did it lead to any shutdowns? It's like, nothing ever got to that point, but he said it was a lot of arguing back and forth. But he said the problem with that movie is he said that I liked it because it was a little bit of both. And he said it was comedy and horror and serious, or not horror, but serious. And that's why John Carpenter wanted to do it. But Chevy Chase just wanted all of it to be serious. And he said, so it was like a lot of clashing and back and forth, and like really a big headache. But he said also before that, Wayne's World had come out the week before that movie was released. So he said when they saw Chevy Chase in an Invisible Man, they're like, oh yeah, more comedy, National Lampoon. And he said people went and seen it. They're like, what the hell is this? This is not what I signed up for, Jim. So he said, I could imagine. I know that Chevy Chase, I love Chevy Chase, but I understand like a lot of people have talked about he is like one of the more difficult ones to work with. And if you almost run John Carpenter out of the business because of your attitude on set, holy shit.
Imagine what would have happened if he did leave. Like Chevy Chase, like put us in the worst Carpenter timeline just by being a dick.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see Chevy wanting to be a more serious actor, and then like getting a lot of flack from John Carpenter, where he's like, "No, man, we got to shoot it like this. Like it's a little bit of both, and you're not known for that. Like you're not gonna do well if you try to do it this way." And I know what I'm talking about because I am John fucking Carpenter. I directed Halloween. I know what I'm talking about. And Chevy's like, change his name. I was on the first SNL. You know nothing. But yeah, either way, John Carpenter said it best. He said, and I literally forgot about that movie until they started showing clips of it. But he said the problem with that movie is it didn't know what it wanted to be. It didn't know if it wanted to be a comedy or like a serious drama horror thing.
Yeah, I never watched it, but Carpenter had a lot of trouble with his films being received for, in the wrong kind of ways back then. But then again, everybody says the same thing about Chevy Chase. Like, apparently he was pretty damn difficult to work with, so that doesn't surprise me at all. But John Carpenter was pretty green at that time in his career. Now, if he did that, he would just smack Chevy Chase in the face, put a cigarette out on his nipple, and tell him to get the hell out, and he would just hire someone else to do it because John Carpenter.
You'd have to catch Chevy when he wasn't on coke, because Chevy kicked his ass if he was on coke. I like it, Fletch.
Yeah, he was still being a hole to people in his old age on Community and stuff. Apparently, so
I think the problem.
I
don't know.
Not surprising.
I think Chevy Chase is one of those guys that like I think he has a sense of humor about him that either either you're used to it and you get it, or it comes off as like way abrasive and dickish. Kind of like Bruce Campbell. Like Bruce Campbell's got more of a charm to him, and maybe that's why it works for him. But like maybe it just doesn't work for Chevy in that way. I don't know. It's
possible he could just be a misunderstood, really nice man.
I mean, I think somebody did talk about him before. I know we're getting off topic. We're going to get to this, I swear to God. But I think someone did talk about Chevy Chase. Somebody said, I think what happened with Chevy was that the limelight went on him so quick and so early on in his career that it just like it kind of freaked him out. Like he was like, what the hell is this? Like I wasn't ready for it.
You're just making up excuses for another straight white. That's all you're doing.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing.
I got to start being more of a white apologist and being sorry for my vanilla skin because I've done nothing but atrocities with my colonizer ways.
All right. What is the most rewatchable film in the Scream franchise?
It's another goddamn white film. I don't want to watch it. I would say, okay, for Scream, you know what I'm going to pick? 100%. It's Scream 1.
Yeah, that's my choice as well. That's my choice also. I think there is an argument to be made for Scream 2, which is why I'll put this one to the first poll of the night. If you're watching on Instagram, on YouTube, you can jump over there and you can actually vote on these along with us. Haven't figured out how to figure that out on Instagram yet, this being our first one. But yeah, I'm going to put up a poll, and it'll only let me, because YouTube's silly, it only lets me put up a couple of options in the poll, but I feel like for everyone, the option's going to be between 1 and 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody, for the most part, is going to say anything other than Scream 1 and 2 in this one.
Yeah, I don't think that. I feel like Scream is always going to be universally accepted as the classic that it is, and it would be an easy jumping off point for anyone to get into the series and rewatch over and over again without getting bored. It's such a great movie, and it was the first time meta was used, which was made it so significant.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand Scream 2 because the soundtrack's just as good, right? Things are already going. It's a little bit funner of a film. It's got a little bit more fun to it because you already know the characters. That everyone's kind of seasoned and stepped fully into the body of their characters at this point. And seeing them at college is kind of cool. You got all the characters, including Cotton and everyone in there. So that stuff's fun. However, my answer is still Scream just because, man, that there's nothing like that opening scene and literally the font of the damn Scream when it pops up and everything, and then just the way it ends.
Well, and then even the opening with Drew Barrymore, the brutality of that particular scene, a lot of people weren't expecting it to be that brutal.
Yeah, and it's a far better reveal in my mind. I loved Timothy Olyphant, but I just, obviously Stu and Billy, it's the main one. I could watch Scream any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And I think about Scream 2, they were a little bit more fleshed out, but I was like, that goddamn Jackie from Roseanne is a killer. Are you out of your fucking mind? Holy shit, you had Jerry O'Connell. Yeah, she had a great reveal too. I mean, she did great in the reveal, but it was it already started to get a little stretchy, even though I love it. But no, what do you think is the least rewatchable film in the Scream franchise, though?
All of them after 2.
Shut your fucking mouth.
All of them after 2,
Shut your filthy little whore mouth.
Oh, my little darling.
Got it?
Reality comes quick and hard and kicks you in the nuts sometimes, but sometimes it's got to be true. No, if I had to pick one that I just don't like at all and I can't watch it is I don't like Scream 3 at all. I never liked it. And it's because it went more goofy and it got more like they tried to add more like nothing wrong with Jay and Silent Bob, but once you did that, you kind of sold the pony down the river. You know what I mean? Like you jumped the shark, is it word?
Yeah.
Like at that point, they were like, let's just make fun of it. I think the concept was a good idea. And I really think that the idea that they were doing a movie and then the movie actors were being killed by the new Ghostface, which is something they could even implement in the newer Scream. And that's the way they could get all the cast back. But I thought the idea was great. I feel like the execution was just like way too goofy for it to, like, it just never caught me. I was like, yeah, it had a great soundtrack, but I didn't like the movie.
Had some Creed on there. I think for me, it's 4. 4 is the least.
That's a close one for me too.
Yeah, it had that terrible lens on it, the terrible, like, super blurry, sunshiny lens or whatever was going on. I've never been a huge fan of the killers in that one. The Culkin kid did a good job. He's just unbelievable as a killer. And then I've never been a huge fan of Emma Roberts as a killer either. I thought that was kind of a Fight Club rip-offery. I think she did a good job at the end, but I just think it's super overrated in that respect. And it's the first film that really took steps so far away from the main members to try to recreate this new thing that they were doing with these kids. It was kind of Scream 5 before Scream 5, but that's gonna be my one. That's gonna be my one. A lot of people say Scream 6. Scream 6 is super rewatchable because it's very quick paced. It's a very set piece oriented movie. This kill to that kill to this kill, and the kills are done real well. You can complain about the killer reveals and all that, and I understand, but I feel like it's a really easy to rewatch and it's a brisk film to get through.
I thought Scream 6 was all right. I didn't think I hated it. I hated the end. The ending was dumb.
Yeah, a lot of people hated the ending.
But other than that, but for me, it's just, but Scream 4 would be close to Scream 3 with me as far as like not rewatchable or like I can't, like it's just hard for, like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get you. In the case of Scream 1 and Scream 2, you guys agree with us. So Scream is the most rewatchable Scream at a clip of 88% to 12%. You guys agree with us on Scream. So that does Scream. Let's do something nasty that I don't like at all. And I think it's terrible. And that's the Resident Evil franchise as films.
Somebody run it over. GTA, motherfucker. 10 points.
What's the most rewatchable Resident Evil movie? I haven't even seen them all, so I can't really say.
I've seen them all, unfortunately.
Aren't they the same shit over and over again anyway?
Kind of. Well, no, she gets like way OP. Like it's super powered fucking nonstop after a while. Like it's almost unbelievable. I would say Resident Evil 1 was all right. Like it's not bad. It had elements in it would made it like it was pretty faithful to the game. Certain elements they implemented, but honestly, it's either going to be 1 or 2. Like Apocalypse is pretty good just because they added Day. I thought he was cool. He goes, that motherfucker's got a rocket launcher. I just hated the Nemesis when he was like, oh man, I don't know. I'll pick Apocalypse just because it had bigger budget and it had more, like the Raccoon City was more featured. Well, was featured. I liked it better.
By the way, I want to pop over while we're talking about this and show you guys this real quick. It's a work in progress. Okay. It's a work in progress, but I'm bringing a website back and we're going to put all of our content and stuff like that on this website so we can get it in one place. It's whamnews.com. They stole WeWatchedTheMovie.com from me. They stole it from me. And now it's some weird, God knows what they're doing with it. But anyways, there is news regarding Resident Evil while you guys think about that for yourselves. Zach Cregger's is officially doing the new reboot.
Yeah, we had a
reboot
conversation about that a couple of weeks ago. That's good time.
Yeah, it's officially happening now. They made it official, which is super, super sweet, and I like it. But yeah, back to this honking piece of hot trash. I'll just say the original because I can't get through any of the rest of them. When she starts doing Super Captain America triple dump flips and shit, I can't even.
They completely. First off, Alice was never a part of the video. I don't get it though. Like Paul Anderson, the director of this movie, of all of them, they tapped him because of his work on Mortal Kombat. And he did, you know, you could say what you want about Mortal Kombat, the movie that came out in the 90s. Like, for what it's worth, it was a pretty good movie. And it was I think it was a harder movie to tell than Resident Evil. So they thought he'd be a good fit for the idea. But the problem, they let him write the fucking thing. See, in Mortal Kombat, he didn't write it. Like, he directed it. And they were like, they had to keep within the formula of Mortal Kombat. But when he had such a dumbass answer. He was like, I'm just a big fan of Resident Evil that I'm going to change everything about it. I love women so much I stay completely away from them. That's the same kind of conversation he was having, and it was like but basically his thought process was that he loved it so much that he wanted to change it so that people that love the games would be surprised when they went and seen it, so it wouldn't be exactly like the game. Like that's what people wanted to see. No, but I was like nobody. I was like take your fucking artsy fartsy shit and shove it up your butthole. That's not what people wanted to see. They wanted to see the mansion. They wanted to see stars. They wanted to see the line Jill sandwich from Barry Burton. But for me, Resident Evil 2, at least that you got Raccoon City in that bitch. And someone said Day from Friday. Yeah, Day from Friday was in it.
And also part of that Zach Cregger's thing that's cool is that is apparently, now they said this when not Rennie Harlan, but the Australian dude who did The Strangers, or not The Strangers, The Strangers 2. I can't remember his name. Johannes Bertonas said when he did that last one, Return to Raccoon City or whatever it was, he said that he was going to make it like the first game, and it was kind of felt weird. But Zach Cregger's version of it is supposed to go back to that first movie, so we might finally actually get Haunted House original creepy. But let me ask you this, though. You'll like this for you gamers out there. Again, I can't really speak on it. What's the most replayable Resident Evil game, though? Like
100% RE2 remake. 100% RE2 remake all day, all night. I do it twice on Sunday, all day, all night. Want to have it. Want to have that.
Is that how like most Resident Evil fans feel? Is that the best
one?
Well,
there's a lot. I mean, Resident Evil 3 remake was good. I mean, Resident Evil 4 was really good, but after that, 5 kind of sucked. 6, I don't remember much of it. The other ones, I care less. But Resident Evil 2 remake for me was great. But if you're just talking about the video games themselves, just as like the originals as they came out, when I was a kid, I played Resident Evil 2 nonstop, like over and over again.
Yeah, no, I remember watching you play that. That was the double-decker box too, right? The thick one.
Yeah, that's when you knew you were in some serious shit. When you had 2 discs, not 1.
So everybody, it looks like everybody pretty much agrees with that. I get a couple 4s. There's a Village in there. Most people.
Yeah, Village was good. Village was good.
I only played the first 3, and I remember Nemesis pissed me off real bad. Like that drove me crazy, but it was really fun and cool to play it too. Like I had a good time playing that game. All right, let's do another banger. Let's do another big franchise right here. How about let's just go ahead and get it out of the way because it's going to upset folks.
Let's pop that cherry.
How about Halloween? What's the most rewatchable Halloween, and why is it Halloween 4? And that's going to make people mad.
Resurrection, no doubt. No doubt. Kung Fu that ass in the garage. No, well, you already, shoot, dude. I'm going to have to say it. I'm going to have to say it, and I don't want to say it.
Are you going to say 6?
No, I'm going to say 4.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to say 6. That's why I didn't want to say it. I wanted to say 6.
Yeah, I know 6 is super rewatchable, dude. I know it's terrible, but there's even 2 different versions you could watch if you get tired of one. But let me put it to a poll for you guys. What's the most rewatchable Halloween? I feel like it's definitely before or between 1 and 4, but we'll see. Yeah.
Tomo got us says, put it to a vote, you cowards.
I'm gonna whore. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all of them they have a lot of rewatchability to them, like, except for that shit stain Resurrection. But yeah, for me, 4 is so good, dude. Like 4 is amazing. 6 is amazing in my opinion. but and 1 obviously, but yeah, dude, it's like 4 is just, it's got the pure Halloween spirit, and he's mean as fucking that. It's badass. The opening with the ambulance drive is amazing. The mask looks like shit, of course we know, but other than that, it's great.
Yeah, I didn't realize this till the other day. I probably should have realized this, but they went back after the initial 4. They initially wanted 4 to feel like the first one, and whereas like more suspense and less blood and gore and stuff. But based on what Friday the 13th and stuff was going, they actually deemed for another day of like, they called it like the blood shoots or something, like the bloodletting or something, that where they added just a bunch of the nastier deaths in there. But no, dude, it's the Halloween atmosphere. It kicks right off. As much as I love the original Halloween, there's a lot of slow. You got to get into the characters. It's not slow. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a perfect film. But like when we've all probably seen the original more times than anything, right? Yeah. And you deal with Smith's Grove and you deal with all that stuff. Halloween 4 is like the first scene. They're transporting him in an ambulance and he sticks his thumb in a guy's face. And it's got the best of Loomis in it. It's got Loomis is already going crazy. He's off the hinges. Everyone, it's just it's 4 for me. It's most rewatchable. But
you don't have a police force. Yeah, dude. That's when you. Well, the only sad thing about 4 too is like you didn't really. I know that they had to cut the police station attack, which would have been fucking awesome to have seen.
I think that was in 5 though.
Oh, that was 5. Yeah. There was that particular scene always sticks out in my mind that they had that scene that they cut. But
my apologies, you guys are right. Instead of putting a couple of those options, I should have put H2O because I know how people love that, and it is rewatchable if you like it. So that's on me. I don't think it will win, so I'm not going to restart the poll or anything. But that's on me. H2O should have been on that poll. My bad. It's all right. Those are my picks. You guys think about yours. In the meantime, this really comes down to 2 films. Okay, yep. I know there's 3, but it really comes down to 2 films. That last one you're not going to touch it. It does not count. What's more rewatchable as a film, the first Strangers movie or Pray at Night? And why is it Pray at Night?
People will get mad. People are going to remove their tampon, and it's going to be filled with nothing but anger and bitch. I'm going to say the second one. I like it better. I know it's crazy. It's shocking, isn't it? I just had more fun with the sequel. I don't know. For me, it was a lot more of a fun movie. The Strangers 1 is superior. I understand why people would love that and pick that over the second one, but the second one is just pure fun.
Yeah, you guys put a 1 or 2 in the chat for which one of these 2 you want while everyone's voting on that. I agree with you. I think it's the second one, rewatchability wise. I don't know. Like I would have a trouble deciding which one I like better. It could be Pray at Night because The Strangers has it does have some plot holes in there. And like for the first like 25 minutes of the movie, we're sitting there watching Liv Tyler like, I don't know why I don't want to marry you, and like him eating ice cream and shit. And like I get, but it works for the movie because they have to set the tone really good, and they do a great job of it. But this one's just infinitely more rewatchable. You got an amazing soundtrack. All the actors were really good. I can't remember the mom's name. She was great. The dad was great. Amazing actors. And The Strangers did a great job. And pool scene, all of it, infinitely more rewatchable than the first film. Well, I like both.
I agree.
Miss agrees with you. Let's see here. How many people we got? We got a whopping 6 people watching on Instagram Live right now. I just went down to 5. So
got 2 big I shouldn't have clapped.
Big deal. Okay.
Scare them away.
It's got to be weird watching on that little thing too. I don't know if we'll always keep doing it this way or not. If we'll keep doing it, it may not be worth it too. But hey, we appreciate you guys on Instagram, all 4 of you.
Well, it's the first time we've ever simulcasted. So
yeah, and Tom from MySpace could be one of those guys too. He's always there for you when you need him. Always there for you when you need him. While you guys vote on that, let's see what you guys is up to. JK says Freddy vs. Jason is the best entry from both franchises. My God, why would you say something so brave and yet so wrong?
Oh man, it's a fun movie. I'll give you that, but I don't know. I think you had too much of the devil's lettuce today, JK.
Yeah. Oh, I can't go there with you, my friend, but I love you. Byron, thanks, buddy. He is half Diddy, half. Who is that?
I don't know.
That's just another Watt. Says Halloween Kills most rewatchable movie in Halloween. That's another one that could have been on the poll for sure. It is rewatchable, except for Tommy running around. Evil dies tonight. Oh, movie's full of entertainment, and Mike is just a boss in the movie. Evil dies tonight. Love y'all. Love you too, buddy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I liked Halloween Kills, but the Tommy thing was awful. It was a mean. Yeah. They mean the shit out of that. But yeah, otherwise it was great.
And another disappointing thing about Halloween Kills was just that ending street fight scene, dude. It should have been so much grander. Instead, it was just a black screen and Michael going.
And then they'd also
people going no, in like fucking slow motion.
And then they'd also given away all the best kills in the trailer.
Yep.
Because you had the fireman scene would have been amazing to see that with not knowing it was coming. Holy
dude.
shit, dude.
Yeah. Holy shitos, gritas. Mid-Timber 27 McChicken says Terrifier 3 is the most rewatched movies in the franchise so far, especially as a fun Christmas movie. And if Jay agrees, we put Ghostbusters in as horror comedy. I'm going to say Ghostbusters 2. Love you guys. Love you too, buddy.
Thanks, you, man. Love you, man. Yeah, Ghostbusters 2 is a horror comedy. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Ghostbusters as a horror comedy. I mean, there's not much horror going on, but I could see where the Scollelli brothers, Vigo might have been. You could. I don't know. I just put it as I don't know. It would be horror comedy. I think it's sci-fi comedy.
Yeah, I don't have it in the list, but that is a really good question. Like, which one of those two movies do you find more rewatchable? It could be the second one. That's tough.
I like them both equally. I can't decide. I love you both. You're both my children.
Yeah, I actually changed my mind just now. I'm going with the first one. Because I just love
both.
The camaraderie of them coming together and like buying the firehouse for the first time and shit like that and all that.
The first one had better jokes, but the second one just had more like action and dude, would I say a better soundtrack? Maybe. I like the Bobby Brown on our own better than the original Ghostbusters score. I just do. Ray Parker Jr. is great, but Bobby Brown, dude. Woo.
Yeah, dude, the soundtrack is better. I agree with that wholly. And we will talk about Terrifier tonight, Tim. Thanks, buddy. Matt Hayes, member for 6 fucking months, says,
hell yeah, dude.
Just watched Final Destination 5 for the first time and had a blast. Besides the awful acting and piss poor CG at times, I can definitely see it being pretty rewatchable. I give it an 8 out of 10. Tony Todd rips. Love you guys. He meant to say guys. He spelled gays, but it was an accident. His finger slipped.
He means that we're happy.
That's what makes you gay.
And we are happy. Final Destination 5. Yeah, that's not the race car one, is it? I can't remember.
No. 5 is the bridge. 5's the bridge, and
okay.
It's the one with the surprise tie into the first movie at the very end.
Oh yeah, the time travel thing. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, 5 was great, dude. I really enjoyed it. We'll get to that one tonight as well. And where was my button? Chris Sampson, fly me to the moon like that bitch Alex Crampston says, "Hey dudes, I just want to say the weather's perfect today in South Carolina, dude. March has." You can fuck up and you can miss out on it. Why am I doing trumpet? You can miss out on it. But no, it's March when you get that weather coming in. I was just talking about it with my family today. Like my daughter said, she's like, you can almost smell summer coming. I'm like, I know. When you get a nice day in March, it almost feels better than any other day during the year because you've been without for so long, you know? Yeah.
It makes you feel like Superman up in the clouds after he gets hit with that nuke, and you're like, oh, regeneration. Like at the end of the week, this week it's supposed to be in the upper 70s.
Yeah, dude, I'm so stoked. I needed it, and the clocks go back on Sunday. Thank God. For anybody who has like seasonal shit, you know what I'm talking about. This is the best time to be alive right now. We're coming back to life.
I know that they asked Trump about whether or not he would end daylight savings time, and he was like, it's pretty 50-50, so I don't want to get involved. Now, a lot of people, it's actually it's a hot debate. It really is a hot debate because it's split down the fucking middle. Some people want less light, and some people want more. So that's what scares me.
Because dude, if they go to less light the whole year, I don't know how I'm gonna.
Well, I think Trump is saying he's like, which I guess he is right. He's like, people want to take their kids to school and it not be pitch dark.
Yeah, well, I have kids, so
no, I mean that's why he did, but they didn't want it. That's why he's like, he can't really decide.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't want it anymore. But anyways, he says, for me, the most rewatchable Terrifier movie is Terrifier 2. Disagreeing with our buddy there before, says it walks the line between hope and insanity like Jay did with his wicked ex-wife. God bless the way. Not much hope there at the end. It was mostly
it was pretty much just a give up. Fuck it. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess it's just over. But yeah, I agree. Terrifier 2 is being scarier than the first one. I thought the first one, it was just so shocking, is the reason why I liked it a little bit better, because you didn't really know what was going to happen, and they hadn't introduced that angelic demon thing to it yet. So, but the first one was just shocking. Is the reason why I liked it better.
Hey, that's good timing since you guys both brought that up. Let's pop on over here. And oops, I didn't mean to do that. Where'd you go? What? No, this is not what I want. Get it off me, Jim. Okay, there we go. Let's pop that little guy on screen right there and do that one next. Meanwhile, the vote that you guys did, you guys vote the original Halloween is the most rewatchable for you at 46%. H4 comes in second at 34%.
I could see it. Well, yeah. Well, Halloween 1 is like everyone's gonna like, that's just the default. So
yeah, I'd be surprised if you guys said anything. But however, we've always been huge 4 guys. But how about Terrifier? And I'll put this up as a vote as well, because I feel like This is one of the tight ones. Now he does have 4 appearances, so you got to include All Hallows Eve, which definitely is not going to win, but because there's not much rewatchability there.
That fucking dude, is that the guy that played him on the far right?
Yeah.
That dude, he looks like Timu, the Timu version.
Ironically, the dude was pretty good.
Yeah.
When you watch it, I was really impressed with the guy. I can't remember his name, so
I call him Pennywise, but I meant like art. So we have art at home. We have art at home. Yeah.
It does. That exact picture does look like it, but he did it, dude. He did a surprisingly great job in that. For me, though, why you guys vote on that? For me personally, I think that the most rewatchable one is it's 2 for me. 2 is the most rewatchable for me, even though it's the longest at 2.5 hours. I don't really find the time lagging there. I always have a great time with the lore and enjoying these new characters or whatever. So that's gonna be my pick. But 2 or 3 would definitely be top 2.
I just go with the first one. I'm a cheap bitch. It's easy for me because I do like the first one. I like the story. I think it is a creepy ass movie. The second one, the third one, they're fleshed out more. I mean, there's more content to sink your teeth in. But the first one, I thought it was great. I've watched it a couple of times.
Yeah, see, I don't actually enjoy watching the first movie, to be honest with you. Like, there's like a grindhouseness to it that I know adds to it for like what the movie's supposed to be, but like the acting's not quite there yet for me. Yeah. They don't have any likable characters in it. It's just like it's just art murdering people horrendously. But I get that it's the shortest, right? It's the most brisk to get there.
Yeah, maybe that's why I liked it. So like it's just an easy brisk to the park for me, a brisk walk.
I would say the first Terrifier is probably the scariest. I think I would.
Well, that's why it's shot. Well, that whole sequence when he goes into the diner always freaked me the fuck out. When he's just sitting there and he's like, "Oh, fuck." Yeah, that was always.
Yeah, dude, that's good. Why you guys vote on that one? Lee the Machine Bowers. Thank you, Lee. Sir. That's very kind of you, as always, Lee. Too kind to us, man. Says, hey, my sexy fellas, guess what? The clocks go forward at 2 a.m. tonight. I know. Hey, Loomis and Chalice, let's party like there's no tomorrow.
No, there is a tomorrow. It's called work, and I got to do it. I'm not going to party with you, Lee. Put your pants back on.
See, the best part about the clocks going back is that if you had to pick up your kids the next day, you could just use that as an excuse not to. And then you don't have to see them till next Halloween. And then you just have a couple Boilermakers, sleep with a couple of dead doctors' daughters. And it's life makes sense again when there's no Super Bowl this weekend. I like to have sex with men and women. Mostly.
Everyone knows. We've seen you.
Okay. Well, just want to make that clear in case anyone's not busy tomorrow night when the clocks roll back. I like to bend over and let you roll me back. You know what I mean?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Might be ass.
Appreciate you, Lee. If anyone's listening to that is the character of Dr. Chalice and not my own thoughts on my kids. Just in case that got out of context for anyone. Austin, my old school Sunday teacher used to advise us to twirl it like a helicopter blade to protect your virginity.
Good idea. Grab his dick and twist it. The old dick twist.
There's a lot to rummage through in that statement there.
As long as you weren't sitting on your Sunday school teacher's lap while he told you this.
I feel like it's still not okay.
I don't know. Like, it depends. I guess it would depend on the context. If he just said, "Hey, Sunday school morning, let's talk about Jesus and what the message means to everyone. By the way, boys, make sure you twist and flow around your wiener like a helicopter to prevent the ladies from getting on top of that and sinning."
Now watch. I'm going to try to touch it. Nope. See, it hit it. Helicopter blade. Couldn't get in there. It even thwarts Sunday school teachers, which is something that's hard to do.
Yeah.
Why did I go back into?
I don't know, Austin. It is a strange church you went to, child. That sounds like some Children of the Corn shit. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of weird.
Oh, my Lord. All right. And the vote of which one's most rewatchable for the Terrifier franchise is a whopping Terrifier 2 at 50%. Second place is the original Terrifier at 29%. And T3 comes in a lowly cook. Third place at 18%. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, but it was pretty even across the board though overall.
Yeah. So we're gonna need your all's help with this one because it's hard to remember. There's a lot going on. Phantasm, the Phantasm franchise. Look, I'm just gonna go with just shout it out in the chat right now. We won't even have to put it to a vote, but like, what's the most rewatchable Phantasm film to you? I got to go with 1 because that's before shit gets off and you just really need a map to figure out what the fuck is going on. I'm gonna go with 1.
I feel like Phantasm 1 is the only one that I that's the only one I remember, and it's even then it's brief, like my sex, but it's very brief. There are a lot of holes in that.
I've seen a lot of 2s in there. I figured it was either 1 or 2, but there was one late in the franchise that I feel like people enjoyed a lot too. I just don't remember what it was.
I think the whole plot of that movie is so weird. It's so all over the place. I know it probably makes sense if you watch it and you really got into them, but I feel like I feel like Phantasm 1 and 2 was like they Evil Deaded it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The second one was the remake. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Got a 7 in there. D-Land said 7. That's deep. He's the learned man of the franchise. I think 1's going to take this one so far. It looks like 1. Here's a big one. Not to throw it off on Phantasm. Sorry, Chris Sam said 15. 15th one was the best one.
That's a good one.
It always is, dude. When you hit 15, everybody knows. Everybody knows that's the best one. Let's do a big one though. Let's go. One that's gonna get people talking, and that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
Well, it's time to piss off the constituents once again here, Jerry, because I'm going to go head on in and look at Jessica Alba's butt. Not Jessica Alba. I always fucked that up. God damn it. Not her. What's the other chick's name?
Alba. Duh.
No, Seventh Heaven. The girl from Seventh Heaven.
Beale. Stupid.
Jessica Biel, idiot faces. Yeah. Jessica Biel. It's going to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003 remake. For me, is the most rewatchable one of all, period, point blank. I love that movie. I think they did a great job with the remake. I think they cast it perfectly. I thought Leatherface was a badass. I liked all of even the actors that played the survivors, which I hated them in the original one. The original one is scarier. It's a lot creepier than the remake, 100%. And it does fuck with you when you watch it even now. But the remake was so goddamn well done. And R. Lee Emery, or is that his name? The sergeant. Lee Army, yeah, the former sergeant. Yeah, dude, he was so good as the sheriff.
I'm putting 3 of them in the poll here. I'm putting the original in the poll. I'm putting the remake in the poll, and I'm putting part 2 in the poll. Yeah. Now, my feelings on part 2, on Texas Chainsaw Massacre part 2, is that it's a big old floppy piece of shit. It's like a piece of bologna that's been dunked in a gas station toilet bowl, and then flies pooped on it. Yeah, I hate TCM2. I loathe it, except for Dennis Hopper's performance. I don't understand it, so that's obviously not my answer. But you're right. It's between the original. It's between the remake. I'm going the original personally because while the remake's fucking great, it's fucking great. And you're right. That's one of the greatest butts that's ever been on screen in the history of television or life.
Dusty.
Yeah. But it's the original, dude, because it's so scary. Like, it is so fucking scary. Every time you watch it, it's never not scary. It's like The Exorcist for me. Every time you watch, and dude, I'm just always blown away by the set decoration, how nasty it is, and every time Leatherface shows up, I legit get scared a little bit in my tchotchkes, and that's most movies don't do that. It's one of the top 5 scariest films that has ever been made. It's the
original film. And even William Friedkin, I can't say his name, the one that did The Exorcist, Friedkin gave it high praise and said it was the scariest movie he ever watched in his life. I mean, and that's the director of The Exorcist saying that.
Yeah, I agree with D-Land, who says that Jay's favorite is the one with Matthew McConaughey in it. And I understand that because I think that movie is very rewatchable. I think it's funny and I think it's kind of fucked up and a little scary. Next Generation freaks me out a little bit, dude.
That's like that's like putting toilet water in your fucking guzzling drink and going about today. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's got H2O in it. It might have some duty flakes in it, but it's still H2O.
If that poll were solely up to me, 4 would have been in there because I like that piece of shit. I do, man. I'll tell you what.
You know what? That was it. The third one was so fucking weird because I remember watching it and then not remembering anything about it once it went off.
It's hard to remember. Weird. The trailer was so much better when he's holding up that metal. Yeah. That Viggo Mortensen was in that piece.
I know, that's so weird.
Third one was crazy. Yeah, I really have to pee. By the way, a pee's coming up on me and it's coming up fast. If you want to hop in on the chit chatties, real quick while you guys vote on that, because I feel like that's going to be a barn burner, and I got to change my battery too because it's weaker than my bladder tonight. So I'll be right back. Yes, I will.
All right. It's me. We got Lee the Machine once again. Thank you so much, dude. Says, and now my truck is back in the shop. My radiator break bad, but I'm good spirits. Oh, that sucks. I don't know. It's got a weird thing. It's not letting me read all of it, but that sucks too. Yeah, I currently had to replace my rotor rooters, like the rotors or the brake shit or whatever. $600. I'm fucking crazy, dude, on my car. But I'm glad you got your truck back. But yeah, it sucks, man. I'm sorry. That sucks. But thank you, dude. Says Jay Garza comes in and says, "Hey, sluts." Y'all boys need to check out the trailer for The Bondsman starring the great Kevin Bacon. Had an Ash versus Evil Dead vibes. Love y'all's fucking faces. Thank you, man. We'll check that out. I think I've heard about that. I haven't watched the trailer, I don't think, though. But thank you, Jay Garza. Nice to see you there, dude. Austin, thanks once again, says, Jay, Bullseye is my favorite Marvel character, and that costume is bad, but his characterization is far worse. Comics Bullseye is Cyrus the Virus plus Sandler. Yeah, well, I didn't like the fact that in the opening of this new Daredevil that Bullseye's not got his iconic uniform yet. I'm sure that'll be changed later on once we get a few more episodes in. But and as far as the actor, I mean, he didn't really have a lot of lines and stuff, so we don't know. I mean, he might be all right, but Bullseye is an awesome comic book character, so I hope they do him justice. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to give up hope. Maybe we'll get a decent, or like at least a worthy rendition of him at some point later on in the episodes. But thank you, man. Michael Parton says, I'd go for a silver shower too. All right. That's what we're talking. Good for you. You got to get them silvers. JT Owsley. There we go. My boss is still upset with me about an incident last week. I skipped a 3-point verification to identify an important piece and broke her trust. And so now I'm going to commit a 5-point verification on top of my mom. Wet emoji. You know, you just come in here, JT, and you share these delightful little sayings and these little snippets of story of your life. And I hope that you one day have a book deal that works out on Amazon that we can all enjoy with your exploits with your mom and the ever horny adventures that you have with her, because goddamn, that would be a New York Times bestseller. Absolutely. So good luck.
A lot of people are willing to fuck people's moms. Not a lot of people are willing to fuck their own mom. JT goes that little extra mile.
That's what we're talking about. A little extra is what it's all about. But I will now be going to the restroom myself and also popping over to get to the apple juice bar. So hey, I'll be back.
Enjoy a nice apple juice. You've deserved it. You've deserved it. You're welcome. I meant that when I said it, that you do deserve it. I'm stalling because I'm trying to find where we are in the chat here. So making words, saying things, mouth moves. Mouth is moving. I'm currently a man and I sit in front of you. There we go. Strolling Nolan, thanks, buddy. Says, hey, fellas, my favorite rewatchable movie out of a franchise to watch is Halloween Kills, because evil dies tonight. Not the greatest dialogue and dumb decisions, indeed, but the amount of kills from Mike's next level, especially the firefighter scene. Look, I do think that Halloween Kills is going to, it was blown up out of proportion. We all thought it was going to be way better than it was, I feel like. However, it's a movie that's going to stand the test of time. People are going to go back, because I said this when it came out. It's a slasher movie, right? It's a slasher movie that has a fuck ton of cool kills. Had this came out in the mid 80s, early 90s, it would have been beloved the way we look at so many of our favorite. The movie, as bad as it is still so much better, even as a movie, dialogue and everything included, than half of the slashers that we revere from the past. It just is when you look at it. So I think it'll stand the test of time. And I think you're seeing that already happen in this chat tonight, the amount of love for it. Sorry for not putting the poll. I'm a piece of shit. I'm going to go, I'm going to give myself a couple slashings and force myself to watch JT have sex with his mother as penance. I apologize. Thank you, Strolling. Syed Assad Termazi. I hope I said that right. I feel like I did pretty fucking good. Gonna pat myself on the back, and cheers, everyone. I'm awesome, and I read. God, I'm so smart. Hey, fellas, I got a Shamrock Shake earlier and instantly thought to watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch with the Shamrock Mask Company. Never seen it before, but loved your review of it. Have a great night, gents. Hey, did you? So you loved our review of it, but did you enjoy it? Oh, you thought to watch it, but I guess you didn't watch it. That's what I wanted to know. I haven't had a Shamrock Shake yet, so that makes the both of us. So come on over. We'll go to Chili's, and we'll have some baby back ribs with barbecue sauce, and we'll have a Shamrock Shake and watch it together. That sounds good. I only say that because I went to Chili's today, had a horrible fucking experience. Do people like Chili's? Is Chili's good? Because like I've been wanting to go to fucking Chili's, dude. I've been hankering to go to Chili's. Took the family there. Nice Saturday afternoon. Took the family to Chili's and had a terrible experience. It was pure ass bagels. Fucking, I got cheese fries, dude. How do you fuck up cheese fries? Those things were so hard, literally. Like you could have taken them and you could have thrown them through a car windshield and like smashed it. They were a brick. It was disgusting.
Dude, that's weird. I literally just had Chili's.
How was your experience?
It was great. I had a burger. I had the Santa Fe burger. It was awesome.
Oh, it's fucking great. It's really.
But I hate guac, and that's what it was on it. So I had to scrape the guac off.
See, I would let you scrape that.
That's what she said. But
I'd let you scrape that guac right into my mouth.
Yeah, it was really. I never had Chili's before, but we didn't go into the restaurant. We just ordered like fat asses and just ate it at home and watched TV. I didn't go.
I wish we had done that, dude. Our waiter was awful. Like that guy was terrible. But anyways,
oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I get you. It'll get you hard. Okay. As far as the poll goes, your all's favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre to rewatch is the remake. In fact, at 55% clip to a 33% to the original to 12% of you nasty, dirty, finger-licking buttfuckers say that part 2 is the best. So it's the remake is the most rewatchable. I have to say I agree.
It's a good one.
Even though I picked the first one. So I don't agree, actually. I was just on easy mode. Shut up.
I did see somebody in the chat that said earlier that 2020, the newest one sucked. I liked it. I did like that one.
I liked it too. I actually forgot about it because it wasn't on that list right there. But it's actually super rewatchable.
I did. Like, that was I watched that and then literally rewatched it right after it. Like after the credits rolled, I watched it again. It was that good to me anyway.
Yeah, that's super. So I forgot to say that. Should add to the poll. 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, fucking crazy rewatchable.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move right along. Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free. Hey, by the way. This list was chosen by our Patreon members. I put a list of 5 options, and they chose to go with the most rewatched movies. Thank you, Patreon members. It's a good idea. I feel like.
Thank you, Dodds.
You chose wisely, my son. Here's going to be a tough one.
Ooh, I don't
George A. Romero's Dead Films. Thanks to the Film Magazine for this imagery right here. The Day of the Dead films. What's the most rewatchable Day of the Dead film?
Well, mine is Day of the Dead. Without a doubt. Day of the Dead. It's my favorite one, without a doubt. Now, Dawn of the Dead is amazing as well. And then obviously the Night of the Living Dead is classic. But Day of the Dead, first off, you had some of the coolest special effects of all time, and the way they mixed that blood, I think that was a new method they had used, which made it look more realistic on screen. And I think a lot of other studios copied their technique. The special effects, the practical effects they did in that film was insanely good. I like the idea. I just like the whole thing with the army guys, and you got the scientists and they're underground, and you got the whole thing fighting back and forth. I thought it was incredible, dude. I thought Day of the Dead was, if Romero had just retired off of that, it would have been, I feel like, his opus.
Yeah,
was that good?
Yeah, it's really tough. Like, I mean, it's it's actually really tough. I don't want to keep going. But I think for me, it's Night of the Living Dead for me. It's the original. Like, and I'm not even saying that's not this. I mean, it's not even the best one. I'm not even saying it's the best one. But there's something infinitely rewatchable about the original Night of the Living Dead, and that you could pop it on in the background, and it just adds a fucking aura. You know, like it feels like you have to pay attention a little bit to Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, both. Like, because there's a lot of political shit going on, a lot of stuff, it's sprawling. There's a lot of stuff happening. Yeah. But the original Night of the Living Dead is just a fucking mood to put on. So I'll pick that one for that reason.
Well, you also got to give credit to the fact that it was pretty much independently run. Like that was George Romero. You're telling Hollywood, go fuck yourself. Like, I can do it on my own. He gonna do it live. He gonna do one more. That's George Romero. That's basically what he did. He just hired a bunch of local actors and friends and shit to help make the movie, which was awesome.
So I think it's fair. I think the only 3 we really need in this one, right, are probably Dawn, Night, and Day.
Somebody was mentioning Land of the Dead, but I don't know about that one, because I mean, it was all right, but it wasn't. And then someone asked about the remake, but that was a Zack Snyder film. I liked the remake quite a bit. The Dawn of the Dead remake, in my opinion, I liked it better than the original. I know that's sacrilege to a lot of people, but I did. Yeah, but it was a Zack Snyder film.
Right, yeah. So I didn't really count that one in this one. I guess I could have, and that actually probably would have won the day for me. The Dawn of the Dead remake was Zack Snyder, because that is really rewatchable, especially the first 5 minutes. That thing's fucking crazy, dude. But that's up at the poll for you guys right now.
By the way, a little side note about Day of the Dead. I didn't know this, but that scene, there's one classic scene where the I can't remember his Rhodes. Colonel Rhodes, he gets his guts ripped out at the end of the movie, or toward the end of the movie, when all the zombies pull him apart. Well, they had said they used like pig intestines and shit for that scene particularly, and they said that someone had pulled the plug on the refrigeration unit, like the freezer where they were keeping all that shit, so it was literally rotted, like that. And the guy that played Rhodes said he was literally holding in vomit while he was doing that scene, because it was literally rotting meat.
I thought that was Return of the Living Dead.
No, that was Day of the Dead. Like Day of the Dead had some of the best like death scenes, in my opinion, of any of the Romero films. Like the guy with when they rip his head off and his jaw's still moving, and then the eyeball explosion. Holy shit!
Yeah. I guess I was thinking of when that pit thing explodes or whatever at the beginning of Return, or leaks out.
Oh yeah.
But while you guys vote on that one, how about this one's tough, dude. I'm gonna throw this out there though because it's a horror franchise nonetheless. The Godzilla franchise,
dude. It's fine, dude. I swear on my life, dude. I literally just rewatched Godzilla King of Monsters. And then I went on to Godzilla.
Would you do that to yourself?
Well, I was watching that, and then I was watching Godzilla versus Kong because I haven't seen the new one because I was just working my way back. I gotta be honest, man. Godzilla versus Kong, I watched it again. Just literally, I just got done watching it today, and I think I gave that a way higher score than it deserved. I still loved all the battle scenes between King Kong and Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. I thought those were fucking badass, but the story literally is some of the dumbest shit. When I was watching it, I was like, that is so fucking stupid. like it was like some like a 4-year-old wrote it because it was in crayon and turned the script in.
Yeah, dude. They all run together for me at this point. Like honestly, all the modern Kong Godzilla films, they all just run together. It's all just like this super fucking ultra CGI'd, like weak. It's not even Michael Bay storytelling, in my opinion, dude. That shit's at least entertaining. Like,
well, yeah, the Kong versus Godzilla, like I don't know, like again, I'm like a fucking Forrest Gump. Look, fireworks. I liked all the special effects when they fought. Like, yeah, it's cool. But then when you get into the nitty gritty of the actual like the story, it's like, yeah, it's stupid. Glade of King of Monsters or King, yeah, that was all right. It wasn't, at least the story was a little bit more tight than the Kong versus Godzilla, and that was Adam Wingard.
Yeah,
that is shocking.
Dude, I love his horror movies and everything that they've done recently with those movies. Now, this most recent one that came out, it's probably in part because I just got out of the greatness of what is my pick for the most rewatchable and the best Godzilla film of all time. That's right. I said it, and I don't care who knows it. It's Godzilla -1. I think it's the best Godzilla film that's ever been fucking made. $15 million or so to make that thing. Had the best story. It was epic as fuck. It had amazing graphics. Just that's how you make a goddamn Godzilla film. That's my choice.
Yeah, I have to watch that one. Everyone's talking about how good it is. I haven't watched it yet. I know you can. I think you can rent it now. I'm pretty sure you probably even get it. So yeah, I was going to, but I wanted the only reason why I swear to God the only reason I watched the other ones was because I haven't seen the new Kong movie. So I was like, I wanted to get ready for that. But I will watch -1. But I'm just gonna have to go on what I know of right now, and the most rewatchable Godzilla movie for me will be. I'd watch 2014 Godzilla.
The one with was it Aaron Taylor Johnson was in that one?
Yeah,
Bryan Cranston was in that.
Bryan Cranston, yeah, he was the dad.
Yeah,
I'd watch that one again. I thought that movie, it had its problems obviously, but I felt like they did a pretty good job of resurrecting Godzilla as a pretty cool. Movie monster villain. So I'll pick 2014. I know there's better ones. I just can't remember. Like there's been 1,000 goddamn Godzilla movies. I can't remember them all. So
yeah, great graphics. For sure. You can't deny that one on that. There's so many of those, it's impossible to kind of do a poll, but looking at what you guys are saying, it seems like most people pretty much agree around the most parts. But and you obviously go the original one too. It's a fucking classic. But all right, how about let's take a look at the poll. What do you guys think about the Dawn of the Dead films? You guys say at a 37% clip. It's close. 37% say the most rewatchable Romero Dawn of the Dead movie or Romero Dead movie is Dawn of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. 37%. Second place, 30% is Night of the Living Dead. Third place, 26% Day of the Living Dead. I love them all.
You can't argue with it. They're all great. They're all fucking awesome.
Fucking A. Yes, they are, sir. How about let's do a big one.
Did you do the Phantasm one?
Yeah. We did Phantasm. We sucked at it, but people said 1. I think it was 1.
Okay, that's
winner,
that
one.
Yeah.
How about old Jason doesn't wipe his butt? Voorhees,
stinky cheese.
Tell you what,
he's definitely not using Cottonelle. He's using that prison wipe. That's
Cottonelle, softest Cottonelle.
Might as well be using your hand if you're using that prison wipe. By the way, I know that because April bought some fucking toilet paper. I was like, why the fuck did you buy that? It's like 1 ply. It's like I might as well just go outside and get a clump of grass and wipe my ass with it.
You're just playing with fire if you do that. You're playing with fire.
I will put for rewatchable, obviously it's only going to be Jason Goes to Hell, which is the most rewatchable Jason movie of all time. He's in that movie so much. It's he's in it so much I get tired of it. No, I think that for me it's always going to be New Blood. I know it's not the best one, and I know that people have problems with it because it's like Jean Grey, the X-Men versus Jason Voorhees. But I love the way he looked in that one. It's Kane Hodder's first one. I think he puts a lot of mannerisms and characteristics of Jason that forever will live on as the Jason Voorhees. I like the character of the chick with the telekinesis. And I even like the fight sequence in it. I don't know. I just liked it.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. Oh man, it's tough. You made the poll tough because I can only put 4 options in there. So, like, and here's the thing: I think the natural thought goes either Final Chapter or Jason Lives. 2009's up there. Part 2 is possible. Mine though is 3D. Mine's 3D. That's is my most rewatchable one. Yours is it's fucking New Blood. So it makes it really hard to do a poll for this one.
Well, I know I can change. I could put the remake because if it was either going to be New Blood or the remake for me, so I could be either one.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me look through in here and see what you guys are saying so far. I know I want to. Oh man, it's tough.
I'll just make it easy. I'll do the 2009 remake is rewatchable as fuck for me too. Like I can switch them out.
Yeah, guys. This poll is not right. It's not fair at all for this because it's way tighter than this. But those are the 4 options we'll put with. But so if I had to put them in order of rewatchability, dude, for me it'd be 3D. I just love it, man. I love the music that comes on with the thing. It has some of the best kills in it. Jason gets his mask in that one. Richard Brooker's my favorite Jason, walking around with those fucking traps. Amazing kills. So it's 3D for me, but I realize it's not that for most people. But I would go 3D. I would then go part 4 because I think it's the best Friday the 13th film overall. I'd probably go part 2 after that for me personally, honestly. No, Jason Lives, then part 2 is where I would go. But man, they got a lot of rewatchable movies in that franchise.
Yeah, for me, it would be in order. It would be New Blood, 2009, The Final Chapter, and you know what? I know people are gonna get mad about this, and I would too. But I do. There's something. It's grown on me. Part 5. Strangely enough, I know I hate it.
I hate it every time you say it.
I know it's old goddamn Roy Burns, another white. But I don't know.
That white had some extra stank on it.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is, dude. I think it's because part 5. I like you mentioned camaraderie about Ghostbusters and stuff. Maybe I like the idea of like them in like like that little Goonie style thing, and they're in that rehabilitation house and shit. I don't know. It grew on me. I like it a lot better than I used to. And you know what? Maybe I have fonder memories of that particular movie growing up because I felt like that was always rented in the house.
Well, it has. I will give you this. I think it has one of the worst Jasons of all time, but it has one of the best. But it does have one of the best casts of all time. Reggie the Reckless. You scared of spiders. You scared of rubber spiders. You scared of rubber spiders on strings. Yeah. And obviously Miguel Nunez with the ooh baby, ooh baby. Goddamn enchiladas, but yeah,
and also part 5 was the first time that a movie studio trolled the audience because they were like, "We told you all. Did you not notice that he had on the markings on his mask? It was blue. You fucking idiots! You should have known it wasn't Jason. It was blue." Yeah,
that's true. Well, and it also had Vic fucking Philip Rivers murdering the fuck out of Chocolate Boy, which is funny as shit.
That scene actually. If you had gone into theater to see that movie or whatever, that particular scene probably would have like scared you a little bit because it came out of nowhere. He just fucking snapped. It was fucking scary.
What if after he got done axing Chocolate Boy, he just reached down and picked up a Jason mask and went, "It was me," he and like took off running to the woods, and then we knew who Jason was for the rest of the movie. That would have been better than fucking some random ass goddamn ambulance dude. You know?
Well, I thought if he just picked up the chocolate bar and just went back to fucking chopping wood.
Yeah, that guy was great. I think he passed away recently, but he was fucking great. Okay, so let's do this one. This one will be really easy. Really easy. Just 3 movies. Technically not a franchise. More of us would call it a trilogy, but goddamn, those Tim Wagner novels are so sexy and clean in this photo. Look at this photograph.
By the way, Daniel Torres is not happy. He's like, hey, you leave my quarterback out of this, Mike.
Yeah, poor old Philip Rivers couldn't ever get it done, man. Yeah, he got it done in the bedroom though. That guy's got 9 fucking kids.
I thought you said he had a 9-inch penis. He might do it. He might do it.
He may. He looks like a man who has a 9-inch penis. Hey, and all those kids are under the same goddamn roof. All right, he ain't no Sean Kemp.
You know what?
Hill. That's a good man.
I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I would have liked it. I know that we won with Eli, but I would have liked if Eli hadn't bitched and moaned and we had kept Philip at the draft.
Jay, we're not here to talk about your love for Elon, okay? This is not a political channel.
Eli.
Oh, Eli. Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies.
But I do love Elon as well. I do.
Of course you do, you sick fuck.
Hey, you know what? He's gonna go to Mars, and I'm gonna go with him. Fuck you.
What the fuck were we talking about? Eli. Oh, Eli Manning is what you meant.
Eli. Yeah, I didn't mean.
I knew you didn't mean Elon, but I forgot. Actually, I lost the plot.
Sponsored by Tesla.
You still haven't seen Maxine yet, have you?
No, but I can still do this one.
What's your pick betwixt
between the two, X and Pearl? I'll pick X.
Oh, you like to get wet, huh?
No, because that shit fucking was disturbing, dude. When that old lady, climbed in bed with her and had all her like old saggy titties, like, and she was like, I was like, God, this movie's fucking gross, but kind of cool too. I don't know. It was such a weird movie.
Real nasty.
Like these movies are the definition of skank in the dictionary. Like skank.
It's true. It's true. On the Jason one, you guys, by the way, picked Jason Lives as the most rewatchable of those 4 options. To be fair, 2009, I'm glad we included, was a close second at 34%, just 1% below. Mine lost big time at 9%. So, okay. So let me put this one to a poll because it's an easy one with 3 choices, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of people with different options. 8 pill or Marika's Maxine. So yeah, dude, for me, people aren't gonna like this. I'm gonna have the lowest, I guarantee the lowest percentage here. For me, it's Maxine. Yeah, I think X is great. I think all 3 movies are great. But as far as rewatchability goes, X is great, but it always makes me feel super uncomfortable.
It really is.
When dude's girlfriend wants to get banged by the porn stars, I always feel so bad for him. Like I feel so miserable for him, and we have to sit and watch him watch that, and like, dude, it gives me the wrong kind of horror vibes. Like I'm not enjoying this movie. So that entire like 30-minute subplot there, I hated it. Loved everything else about the movie, but you're right. Those old people fucking was nasty, but it was scary and entertaining at the same time. But no, for me, it's Maxine, dude, because Maxine has a Shane Black kind of feel to it. And he's one of my favorite writers. And it's got a Shane Black sort of feel to it. It kind of goes back to that old school action movie vibes a little bit with it and tells the cult storyline. And yeah, I like the vibe of it more. So Maxine's my most rewatchable. I think X is the best one, though.
Yeah, I like X a lot. But I like how JT Cousins always coming in. It's like, Maxine's on Max, J. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Obviously, you can watch it. I was like, yeah, but I was in the mood to watch Godzilla today. All right, cut me some fucking slack.
I am in the mood to scam
simply because I can. No, yeah, I am gonna watch it. Does it? I know they tie together, but I don't guess I need to go back and watch Pearl to know what's going on. I mean, maybe I could just do a recap or something.
You saw Pearl, right?
No, I watched Pearl. I'm just saying, like,
yeah. Well, it picks up right after X. Maxine picks up right after X.
So then I'm good.
Yeah, when she kills that old bitch and drives away, she drives into Maxine. So basically, which a lot of people do because she's a porn star in the film. Yeah. So yeah. No, she's not a porn star. Her friend's a porn star. I don't fucking know. No, she's a porn star. Yeah, obviously she's a porn star. What am I talking about?
They all skanks.
Sex and drugs. Disgusting women. Disgusting.
Get out of here.
I don't like them. I don't like women at all. That's why I have sex with man. What? What's going on there? I don't know what happened. I lost control of my bowels. How about this shitty franchise? What about The Purge? What's the most rewatchable piece of shit from The Purge? I'm a Statue of Liberty. Look at me. Anonymous. Anonymous on ecstasy.
I'm going to hack you. I'm going to hack you so hard. I'm going to hack the shit out of you. I'm going to hack your ancestors.
I'm going to massacre the fuck out of your computer.
You know what? Dude, I swear. I don't want to get it. Well, you know what? Fucking hack me, dog. I got no money. Fucking hack me. It's just so cringy with like, if you have been chosen by Anonymous. It's like, God damn, I can just smell the Cheeto fingers from here. You unintimidating Reddit moderator.
That's when you pull out the Christian Bale, like, oh, good for you. And how was it? How was it?
The only one for me, The Purge, that was in that I would rewatch, and I think it's the only one I did rewatch was the first one. Like I've seen that movie like 3 times total, and that's it. Like I could give a shit less about the series overall. Like I think it goes completely off the rails. It gets really goofy really quick. The idea behind it was cool. I understand what they were going for, but it feels like that kind of movie really only would work for one movie. And that's really what they should have done. Kept it at one movie. Maybe you could do a sequel or a prequel to, you know, how it got there, but that's about it. Other than that, the first one is the only one for me as rewatchable.
Yeah, Clinton says election year was the first one I've seen of that one, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be an unfair vote or unfair choice because they all run together. I don't remember shit about shit. I remember the first one, Ethan Hawke.
That's
solid movie.
It was all right.
And then the Frank Grillo follow up was cool because it had Frank Grillo in it. I'm going to go probably the first one because I think it's the best made film. But I do get the Frank Grillo one had some entertaining moments in it for sure. Terrible franchise though, really, like forgettable in the worst kind of ways.
I'll purge the stork all over them flappy ass tits. Show. I don't know. Like I understand why it was popular and why people liked it, but it just, I don't know, man. It felt like it was pretty video game-ish after a while. Like I don't know. It kind of felt like downloadable content.
Bro, I don't even think anybody liked it. I think we all just went to see it because it was a franchise that was putting out movies every year, and we felt the need to support a yearly franchise. So we all showed up to see it, and we all walked out going,
yeah.
But like,
it's kind of like Valentine's Day. It's like, yeah, the corporations say I have to like it. So
sort of. Yeah, I'm really glad they stopped making those fucking things. Speaking of things I wish they would stop making, the Puppet Master franchise. This is all you, buddy, because I don't remember shit.
Well, I do. When I was a kid, I used to watch this shit all the fucking time, and I quit watching after about the fifth one. No, it was the fifth one. Then I stopped. I was like, and then, even then, as a kid, can you fucking stop? It doesn't even make sense anymore. But for me, the best Puppet Master was the second one. The second one is the best one. The first one's good. That was a more of a traditional horror movie where they were trying to, you know, make it actually scary. The second one is where they lean more into comedy because it is absolutely ridiculous, this idea of these little puppets running around killing people. But they do play with that a lot more in the second one, and you get the origin story of them and how they came to be, and it's actually a pretty cool story. It's not like, you know, Shakespearean or anything.
I think Udo Kier's in that movie, isn't he?
Who?
Udo Kier. Udo Kier.
I don't know who this is.
I want to say that's him. You know him if you saw his face.
Well, yeah. I remember enjoying it. The second one a lot better. It just was a more fleshed out story. I like the origin parts of how the puppets came to be, and then why they were there. And they were the good guys. Like in the second one, they turned that around so quick, dude. In the first one, they're bad guys. Like it's like a horror movie. And then the second one, they're like, no, not really. They're cute. Let them in your home.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of love for 4, 2, and 3 in the chat. I can't speak.
4's pretty good. 4's pretty good. I'd put the other ones that came after that. I had no idea about any of that shit.
Hey, speaking of hot turds on toilets, how about this franchise right here? How about the Chucky Francisco? Yeah. Oh man.
Flush it. Quick, flush it.
Flush me, Jay. Flush me. No, I'm like, nah. Rewatchability wise, okay, just pure rewatchability. Tits on grits. I don't like rewatching any of them, to be honest with you. I would say 2, absolutely 2 is the absolute answers to, but I will put it to a poll though.
Well, you know, I'm going to shock people here. I'm going to say the third one. And that's usually on the list for people that they hate that one the most. But I like the whole military camp thing. I like that. I thought it was cool. I thought definitely at that point. I mean, Chucky was already kind of funny in the first one, but they really went balls to the wall, like as far as comedy level with his sayings and shit. In the third one, I like the military. Again, I just have strong memories of that movie as a kid, growing up watching it a lot.
That's fair. And in the poll, I think it's an obvious what we do with the 4 movies. It's the first 4 movies, really, right? It's Child's Play 1, 2, 3, and Bride. Because I think a lot of people do love Bride, although I don't myself. By the way, as what you guys voted for the Maxine trilogy or the Ty West trilogy, you guys say X at a big clip. Told you 62% pick X, 22% Pearl, 16% at Maxine for that one. So I told you, I knew it. I did, but. Yeah. Okay. So most rewatchable Chucky film. Child's Play, CP2, because I'm lazy.
I do remember. I wouldn't rewatch it, but I remember Curse of Chucky was a pretty decent installment.
It wasn't the worst. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Fiona Dorff was in that one, so I do
Yeah.
give it credit for that because she is great in that film for sure. But yeah, mine's gonna be 2, dude. 2, I really felt for the kid that was in the foster care situation that he was going through. That dad was a pure asshole, but it was the final set piece that really fucking sold me. The final set piece where Chucky gets burnt and fucked up and shit. That's where
see, it's weird. Like yours is at the end of that one. My memory of Chucky always goes back to the third one when they're like, when all that liquid is making, when they're like remaking him in the like, I don't know what that always sticks out in my head.
That was great. That movie bored me because we went to fucking military school and we had to go through all that shit.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I didn't. But yeah, I get where your head's at for that one. I really do. Well, you guys are voting. How about let's do the old Final Destination franchise a little bit. Got a new movie coming out this year, Bloodlines. That's a bad omen, but we'll see what happens.
Is that picture supposed to look like that, or I need glasses?
I made it that way because the original one, I found was super fucking blurry, so I put like a 3D effect on it to try to make it cool.
Oh Lord, I've gone cross-eyed. I was trying to like fucking see it.
Instead, I just made you drunk.
I know. I was like, I gotta fucking go and get my eyes tested to get my license renewed. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like, yep, I'm fucked. I can't see. Well, this is an interesting one, right? Because obviously the first answer that you're going to go with is Final Destination 1, which is a solid choice, 1000%. I would get behind you 100%. But I will say, I think Final Destination 1 is the superior film, but Final Destination 2 might take the taco here as most rewatchable.
I like take the taco. That's fun. I'm going to go 5. Piece of shit movie, but absolutely you can have 10 to 15 cervezas and just laugh your sick fucking ass off and enjoy it. I think 1's the best, like you said, but there's almost too much story because they have to set everything up. 2 is one that you could easily go with for sure. I understand that one. There's no way it's 4 at all. 3's a little underrated as far as the kills.
There's a lot of people saying 3.
Yeah. 3's got great kills. Just a shit fucking movie, but great kills. I'm going to go with 5 because the way it ties in at the end is really cool. I always like to watch that scene where he turns back and Devon Sawa was on the plane. And the bridge,
I like that.
Yeah, the bridge thing was a great setup for sure. And it's just got some really great deaths. The gymnastics death was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 5. We're going to put this one to a poll, though. I hope you voted quick on Child's Play because we're putting up a new poll for this one. Most rewatchable Child's Play movie the people say is Child's Play 2. At 40%. Second place is Bride of Chucky at 28%. Third place is Child's Play, the original. And fourth place is CP3 at 13%.
Well, fuck me.
Welcome to my life.
Bride of Chucky, by the way, has got one of the best soundtracks, though. 100%.
I think the best soundtrack.
Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, the best. Yeah, it has the best soundtrack.
I was in the Dimension years where people they made good soundtracks for shit. For sure. All right, most rewatchable. So for Final Destination, I think it's pretty easy. You either go with the first one, you go with the second one, you go with. I will throw 3 in there, because people seem to like that one, and finally 5. So we'll see. Hopefully, this Bloodlines will be the best out of those ones, though. So, all right, why you guys vote on that one? How about this old piece of shit right here? The Blair Witch Project franchise.
Well, you know what. Man, again, this is gonna blow people's wieners off their cock holsters. I'm gonna say the Blair Witch. No, not the Blair Witch. Blair Witch, the remake or the last one that they did. Because here's the reason why. Blair Witch 2: Book of Shadows is a dog shit movie. It's dog shit. I didn't like it when it came out as a kid. I didn't like it when I watched it recently when we did a collaboration with Eric from Pretty Much It. I just don't like it. Blair Witch Project, the original Blair Witch Project, it's cool, awesome. When it was first coming out, it's got some of the best viral marketing of all time because it was still new and hip back then. Like the internet viral marketing thing was like a new thing. It was so cool. But once
it's cool, it's hip, it's Noah's Arcade.
Yeah, I'm trying to be down with the kids. You know what I mean? I'm trying to riz you up. I'm trying to riz you up, dog. But no, I think Blair Witch Project, once you've seen it and you know what happens and you know all the stuff, it kind of loses its rewatchability. Like it's like you know how it's all going to end. You know, like it just kind of loses its flair. The Blair Witch, or the newest one, at least I feel like it's got a lot more action oriented stuff going on in it. I like that. I do like that you get to see Blair Witch, like you actually get to see them And they do that time travel thing a little bit too, which is cool. I like when they can do that effectively and it works in these horror movies, because they did it in this, and they did it. And I know the movie sucks, but Paranormal Activity, Ghost or not Ghost, whatever the one it was, the Key or whatever, where they go back in time.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty dope. Veteran found us from the commentaries we did with Eric on Pretty Much It. That's dope as shit,
sweet,
dude.
Man.
That's awesome. We had a blast that day.
That was a really fun time. But yeah, for me, it's going to be the I don't know what year that came out, but the 2013.
I want to say, yeah, something like that. But yeah, no, yeah. I get you. I don't think that's far off. It's going to be the original for me, just because it takes so fucking long for the other one to get going. I mean, it takes them both a long time to get going. But everything you said is absolutely right. The fact that they show it's cool as shit. It's super fucking found footagey though, you know, like with all the and the second one is just, man, that's just a bad movie, even though there's a lot of hot and sexy stuff going on that film.
A lot.
Terrible film. It's still gonna be one for me. It's so nostalgic. It's a comfort place. Something that used to fucking freak me out is now a comfort, because it was 99, man. It was a great fucking time to be alive. So but I don't.
And JT Customs, thank you. It was 2016. JT Customs.
Oh shit. JT Customs on his shit again, ladies and gentlemen. As far as the last one we put to a vote, Final Destination, you guys say, I'm surprised by this. I'm very surprised by this. The most rewatchable is the original one at 35%, Final Destination 2, 30%, Final Destination 3 at 25%, and finally Final Destination 5 at a lowly 10 percentile.
I could see the first one being, I mean, it is a great story. I mean, no matter how you slice it, it's well acted. It's shot, like the deaths are cool. But I don't know. I feel like the second one, I feel like the second one sticks with you longer. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, people, like, not everyone flies. You know what I mean? Like that the airplane scene is scary as fuck. And we understand why that affected people. But the second one on the highway, that shit could happen tomorrow. Like, people going to and I've since that movie, you always avoid fucking trucks in front of you carrying like large amounts of wood.
Hey, I see the chat talking about it right now, so forgive the lack of an image, because somehow I didn't put this one in there. But let's do Candyman, the Candyman franchise. So follow me on this one. Candyman, the original Candyman. You got Farewell to the Flesh. You got Candyman 3, Day of the Cock and Balls, whatever, and then the remake. So the 4 films there. Most rewatchable, I still say it's both the best film and easily the most rewatchable, because it's so fucking far and away way better than all the other films. For me, it's still the original Candyman.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a hot minute since I've seen the second one. I think I remember liking the second one pretty well, but the first one, Tony Todd did such an incredible job with that character. And it's so memorable, and it really was going back when it came out. It was going toe to toe with a lot of heavy hitters coming into that space. Like you got, the Freddys and Michaels and Jasons and all that stuff, and it held its own because of the quiet intimidation and charismatic presence of someone like Tony Todd, who did such a phenomenal job bringing that character to life. Especially, and it had a great story. The story was the story was sad and fucked up, but the way that Candyman went about was horrific at the same time. So I mean, yeah, it's
this is baby laugh from Cheryl. It's like, I heard you was looking for Candyman, bitch.
When you hear that, you go away in your Miata that you drove into this neighborhood with, because you are in the wrong neighborhood, sweet sister. You're in the wrong neighborhood, sweet sister.
The second one did have some good kill scenes in it. It had a little bit of fun in there. The ending was just so fucking dumb when that house melted into the river.
Was that based on Clive Barker? Wasn't that a Clive Barker character? I'm pretty sure he didn't direct it. I thought Candyman was a Clive Barker thing.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think it's
maybe I don't know. Maybe it wasn't, but it felt like it was.
Oh, was it really? Oh, my bad. I had no idea. I did not realize that. Oh no, I fucking knew that. I did, because he was pissed about the Candyman 3, because everybody was blaming him for you guys are right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what I was gonna say, because when I watched it, like maybe I was like, oh, because it had like a Hellraiser vibe to it.
I'm embarrassed. I'm very embarrassed right now. I'm sorry. You're right. You're 100% right. Colton, though, is also right. The OG Candyman score, dude. Dun, 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 dun,
yeah.
Dun, dun. I put that shit on when I write sometimes, man. It's fucking awesome. It's great.
Yeah, the OG score is fantastic. Brandon Reynolds said, yeah, 100%.
Hey, can everybody just if I can find a okay, let me just There we go. All right. No one remember that I didn't think that shit was written by Clive Barker. I appreciate it. Makes
Are
me
you
feel
taking?
better.
Oh, you're.
I was Men in Black.
Normalizer, hypnotizer,
Yeah.
memories turn to
I
fantasies.
accidentally turned on
Men in Black, can I please?
I've had drinks. Yeah. So, but your all's vote on that one. They say the most rewatchable, and they're right, is the original Candyman. 88%, the biggest blowout of the night. 88% say the original, and 7% say the remake. Dude, I don't mind the remake. Like, I know it was a bunch of social shit that forced them to do some sort of silly stuff. But listen, Candyman's always always had politics and stuff involved, so that didn't bother me. I thought it was a really good film.
I think they leaned too heavy into the politics, but it wasn't really. I don't think it was that. I think it was because the fact that you could have used Tony Todd. He was still available. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why
he was in it, but just like,
no, I know he was in it, but I mean, you could have just used him. I mean, he was still good. Like, you could have just used him.
Yeah,
it is what it be.
It's 100% true. This one is fascinating to me. The Psycho franchise, dude. 4 good films. Every film's good.
They're all.
I think every film is fucking good in this franchise, dude. Didn't even include the remake. Who gives a fuck? That one's not good. That was dumb.
That was just it was a shot for shot remake of the. Literally, it was shot for shot Psycho.
Yeah, it's so pointless. So fucking pointless to do that ever. But the TV show's not included because that's not. You can't call a TV show rewatchable. That shit lasted forever, and it was just basically, is he gonna make out with his mom or fucking not already? Come on. But most rewatchable film in the Psycho franchise. What do you think it is?
I'm going to go with Psycho 2. I thought Psycho 2 was incredible, dude. I loved the idea that Norman Bates gets out of the asylum and he's trying to go legit. I'm trying to give up the drugs, Jerry. And then they pull him back in because of the, he just gets sucked back into that lifestyle. And I feel like that was such a great movie. Psycho 1 obviously was, it made its mark in history, but once you know the ending to that, it kind of ruins it. Like it not ruins it, but then you're like, you're just not as hyped up. The Psycho 2 just had something really special about it.
Look at that guy's face, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Big Papa Musk is like. He's eating all that goddamn government spending. He's just eating it up. But I want to say really quick, while Psycho 2, in my opinion, is the most rewatchable of all 4, I will say Psycho 3 has got one of the coolest opening soundtracks of all. Like the music that when they remixed it to that little techno shit or whatever it was, or synth.
Yeah,
the synth thing was awesome.
Yeah, that was dope as fuck, dude. I love this franchise so fucking much. Like the first one's absolute class. They're all rewatchable as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like I thought Psycho 3 was a big piece of shit.
It wasn't good.
I did. But I watched it again and again and again. It's worth it for Jeff Fahey's performance, dude. Mm-hmm. He's naked with that one, and he's got the lamp over his. Someone just mentioned the chat. He's got the lamps over his dick or whatever. But going back and rewatching it, I realized it's got some great kills in it. That nun lady was just annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
was the main problem with that movie. But the rest of it's great. I love Psycho 4 even because Olivia Hussey was fucked up and weird in that. That was scary. And I just love the thought of Norman Bates in his kitchen walking around with his pleated fucking khakis pulled up on the phone, like making a turkey dinner or whatever.
Yeah,
just like calling in radio shows like your dad. Like I thought that was great. But you're right. The answer I think is Psycho 2, dude. That's the most rewatchable.
I think so.
One. Because
like if someone were to tell like what's a good entry point into the series, if you didn't like, maybe someone's like, I don't want to watch a black and white movie or whatever. I don't want to watch that. Like Psycho 2. Psycho 2 is a good one to like if you don't want to watch the original one and you want to just get into the meat and potatoes. Psycho 2 is where you go. Psycho 2.
Yeah. And Psycho 2, dude, there's nothing like watching Norman fucking Bates be a fucking line cook, dude. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So that's mine, but there's no wrong answer in my opinion on this one.
They're all
why
good.
You guys are voting. Let's go to another tough one. Another tough one with the Hellraiser franchise.
Okay.
Real tough.
Well, you know what? And a lot of people would look at this and say, well, it's not so tough because there's, Hellraiser 1 is classic, and why wouldn't you want to rewatch that one? But that's not true because there's actually Hellraiser Inferno is one that never really gets talked about in the praise that Hellraiser 1 gets talked about. And I understand, I get it. It had a smaller budget. It really wasn't like as big of a special effects event as Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3, or 4 even. But Hellraiser 5, I think, focused in more on what Clive Barker was going for, which was the individual finding his own, like not finding it, but being punished in his own personal hell, which the detective story, him being a corrupt cop, getting involved with the lament configuration and then opening it and then having all these interactions and basically facing his inner demons and then being succumbed by them. I think Hellraiser Inferno, to me, has got the most rewatchability to it because I feel like it hits you on different levels. The music's great. It's creepy. You don't see Pinhead a lot, which is exactly what he shouldn't be in it all the time. I just feel like it's a great, like, I love that movie. Like, obviously, a close second would be Hellraiser 1, just for the disturbing nature of it. And you know, it was Clive Barker's directorial debut, and it was good. But Hellraiser Inferno is, like, for me, the most rewatchable of all Hellraisers.
I think Inferno is definitely the most underrated. My most rewatchable though is 3. Dude,
that's a fun. 3. No, that's a fun one. That's pure on Hollywood Cenobite.
Yeah, dude. Like, you get that crazy club owner who's such a douchebag, JD or whatever his fucking name was, and then like Pinhead getting him to feed him women into the pole, and then the party scene where he does a full mass murder of everyone at the party scene. So he's like, shall we begin? And then just murders the fuck out of everybody. And then not only that, you got the pulpit scene at the church when he does the, you know, and then he kills the priest. He's like, happy all day, who'll come to my supper. And not only that, but you got the Cenobites being created and then seeing them in the streets fucking throwing CDs at people and murdering them. That I just so rewatchable.
Yeah, well, the third one, I feel like the third one's got some of his best lines that Doug Bradley ever did as Pinhead is "Thou shalt not have any graven image before me," and then he like melts the cross on his, and then you know he's like,
"Don't debate me, girl.
Just come here and die quickly while you still have the option of doing it," or something like that. But when the priest was when she runs into the church and she's like, "There's a demon after him." He's like, "My child, demons are more. They're just the metaphorical." And she's like, "Well, then what the fuck is that?" And he's like standing in front. But no, I will. No, Hellraiser 3 is as far as like a fun like transform. It's basically the Michael Bay of the Hellraiser movies. It's just it's all it is special effects and him just unhinged.
Yeah, but love that fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, and I've got somebody said the CD Cenobites. I a lot of my collection of Hellraiser action figures or whatever is Hellraiser 3. Because they did have some really cool looking Cenobites, but for me it's Inferno. But I know people are gonna get mad because some people were like, I hated Deader. I thought Deader was not good. Hellseeker was good. So this is a big
mayhem guy in it.
Yeah, and Judgment a lot of people were dog shitting on Judgment because they didn't like that Doug Bradley wasn't leading that, but that guy was great. The guy that they got to replace
Taylor,
I thought you know what, and it wasn't it didn't have the Hollywood splash to it. Like it didn't have like a huge budget, but I feel like what they worked with and how they implemented it was as good as it was going to get. And I thought the guy that they got to replace Doug Bradley, which is a huge shoes to fill, did a pretty good goddamn job.
Yeah, and we all know the best Hellraiser film of all time was Revelations. I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, obviously, you know, when you're taking a potato camera and you're going in your attic and you're hanging out with your friends and dressing up from, you know, Halloween.
Okay, see, Pokey said that the exact same time I did. That's fucking
but if you're gonna put this on the polling, you can only pick 4.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And I have to put Inferno on there because I chose Inferno.
I think 1, 2, 3 Inferno is not bad. Not bad. I think the only thing you're really missing if you do that is maybe Hellseeker, but I don't think.
I mean, because there are some people that did like the fourth one. There are a few. There's you know there's many people that like that movie as Bernie Sanders supporters, but I don't know. I'm kidding. The end. Well, I liked it just for the special effects or the idea of in the future and shit, but otherwise.
Amen. That was fucking cool. Okay, so as far as Psycho goes, you guys say the original Psycho is the most, 53%, but 41% does say Psycho 2 and agrees with us on that. So
somebody said Hellworld is ass. You're absolutely right. Revelations was ass, but Hellworld was really bad because I remember I bought that movie. Remember when they used to do midnight releases at Walmart or you know, like a DVD would come out, when Walmart was still 24 hours. I went and bought that movie straight up off the rack because I was like, it's going to be good. Because it had Lance Henriksen in it.
Yep.
And
Henry Cavill was in that fucking piece.
Yeah, and it fucking sucked ass. I was like, this online garbage ass juice. What the fuck is this?
Dude, Hellraiser wasn't even in the movie. He was all a fucking dream because he drugged everyone.
He doesn't show up till the end. The real one doesn't show up till the end.
But I do like that he cuts that dude's head off because even though it's not him, you get to see Pinhead like take a hatchet and cut someone's head off and be like, yeah. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that was all right. But okay, so that polls up right now. while that poll is voting, oh God, this was kind of easy, but is it that easy? As far as rewatchability goes, The Crow.
No,
2 has got a special place in my heart, but it's still part 1. It's still part 1.
Yeah, it's part 1. I think this is going to be an overwhelming fucking like 98% percentile vote for The Crow.
It's not doesn't even need to be a vote. I think we're all.
It probably doesn't.
Yeah.
But, you know, I always liked City of Angels, but it got a bad rap for a long time because it wasn't. But it was a great movie on its own, and also Iggy Pop was a great villain in that fucking movie. 100% pure skank. But yeah, it's the first one all day.
Yeah, and second place is a close remake. You're right, guys. Bill Skarsgård really, he was better than Brandon Lee. I mean, in my opinion.
I mean, obviously, did you see his abs? You could literally wash clothes on him.
Oh me. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's The Crow. That's the easy one. Come on.
And also, by the way, not only was The Crow. Well, no, I mean, we can move on, but I'm just saying, like, but The Crow was an awesome movie. You got it. The soundtrack, fucking incredible.
Yeah, dude. That and City of Angels had a great soundtrack.
Yeah, they both did. Yeah.
Every night I burn, every night I fall apart.
It's like, don't lie. Every dude in here has like come out of the shower and walked around their apartment or their house naked, and like, what if I was The Crow?
That bass line.
Yeah, and then you wait for a thunderstorm so that you can go in front of the window when the lightning strikes and look out. Tomorrow I'm gonna change everything.
God, it's a beautiful. Literally, Trump popped in my head. It's like, that's a beautiful thumbnail. It's a beautiful thumbnail. It really is. But yeah, that is thick. Listen, most rewatchable Paranormal Activity film. I don't think it's the original. For me, it's part 3 because part 3 had all the shit in the first 2 movies. But when it ends with those fucking scary ass old lady cult following them around from door to door like this, shit has me going every fucking time. So it's 3 for me. But
man, they're all in their own way. Well, not really. I could. Part 4 kind of sucks. The marked ones was actually very like a lot of people. What was it? Not underwhelming. Underappreciated, I should say. The marked ones. I think a lot of people overlooked it. It was actually pretty well done, pretty good movie. I feel like the most rewatchable movie of this series for me is either it's the first one or 3D. And the reason why 3D, I'm putting that
Ghost Dimension.
The reason why is they do the time travel thing, which I did like. I like time travel shit. I do like that.
I thought, but we saw that together. We hated that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, but I only said that because I was trying to be cool. But it's not true.
You went back and changed your mind.
I'm saying, but like I like that time travel shit. But I'm gonna defer to Paranormal Activity 1. When I watch that movie, I think it's a classic movie. It's got all the classic scares in it. It's probably the first one.
Yeah, and I agree with some of the chat too. Next to Kin was Jay and I like Next to Kin. We gave it a solid rating. Most people.
Oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a good one.
We liked it a lot, but I think the fair vote for the poll here is 1, 2, 3, and mark ones. I think that's probably if you had to pick 4. As far as Hellraiser goes, Hellraiser the original wins at 48%.
I figured.
Hellraiser 2, 28, Hellraiser 3, 21, Inferno a lowly 3%.
You know what? I don't believe you. You know, I bet people are voting and you didn't even watch it. You need to watch Inferno. Watch Inferno.
That is fair.
Open your
mind.
Of
people haven't seen it.
Open your mind.
Most people haven't seen that movie, so that's a really good point.
Because it was back in the day, it was straight to VHS. It didn't it was like. I feel like a lot of people just overlooked it. Yeah,
this is a fun vote, by the way, guys. This is a good one. We got a lot of good shit to go there. We're like running through them because there's so many, but this is a fun poll. Good job, Patreons. Nice choice. Well done. Okay, so that pulls up now as it does that. And by the way, please keep the super chats coming. We're going to answer every single one as we always do. Just getting through this part real quick. Here's another fucking banger, dude. The Hannibal franchise. Hannibal Francesco, not the best, the most rewatchable. That's the thing to fucking remember when it comes to this. And for me, it's still Silence of the Lambs.
It's a good one.
Easy.
Yeah. I mean, how can you forget your first time you get a facial and you weren't even expecting it? She's like, I didn't know I was doing porn. Ooh. I obviously. Silence of the Lambs is up there. I'll pick Hannibal because when he opened Ray Liotta's fucking brain open, and like that whole dinner sequence is like I'll never forget that. Like that shit was fucking gnarly, dude. And he was literally cooking his brain and feeding it to him. It's like, you like that? It's like, it tastes like fuck. That's so fucking nasty, dude. It was so wild. It was so creepy and weird and actually horrifying. The fact that this guy is so goddamn smart that he knows exactly which parts of the gray matter in your brain tissue to cut away and feed it to you. And he was sizzling it. Oh my God, dude. That whole fucking.
Yeah.
And then also Gary Oldman playing that deformed. Was it Gary Oldman? I think it was.
Yeah, it looked like Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
It's fucking Mitch McConnell.
He did look like Mitch McConnell. He looked like after he got the Tootsie Pop and it was sour. But yeah, it's Hannibal to me. I mean, Silence of the Lambs is great, but Hannibal to me.
Yeah, JT Customs, I love that you're so good at correcting us, but Manhunter is 100% a Hannibal movie. It was Brian Cox playing Hannibal in the role instead of the great Anthony Hopkins, and did a great job. My one is definitely Silence of the Lambs, but my two, and a close to, is Manhunter. That movie, dude, it's like David Fincher before David Fincher existed making a film. Manhunter is so fucking great. Yeah. That dude, that bad guy was so fucking scary. That with the the Manhunter's fucked up and is a fantastic fucking movie. Oh, dude, you gotta watch it. For people who like movies like Heat or like David Fincher films, it's right in line with those things. It's so fucking good. Man, I cannot believe Manhunter's not more talked about, dude. It's so fucking good. Yeah. But this won't go up to a poll for sure. So that's three good answers right there. I thought Red Dragon.
It was really good.
Actually,
Red Dragon's really good.
Red Dragon's good. Hannibal Rising's a piece of fucking shit. People love that movie. I do not understand it. That movie is one of the worst fucking pieces of shits I've ever seen in my fucking life. I don't get Hannibal Rising. And Hannibal, to me, dude, it was fine because Anthony Hopkins was so good in it. But man, that did not fit in the rest of the franchise at all to me.
What did?
Like, it's just
what
Hannibal. It's just Hannibal. Yeah. It just felt fucking weird. Like Julianne Moore replacing and just all.
Well, that's always going to be the problem when you replace like such a memorable actress. Yeah, that was in the lead role. So,
but you're right. Ray Liotta was fucking great.
Yeah, I thought Hannibal was good. Like I feel like when I watched Hannibal, I was like, well, that's it. They're not going to do anymore, which they really did. I mean, Hannibal, Red Dragon was a prequel.
Yeah,
and then Hannibal Rising was obviously a prequel.
I was literally going to say, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, Resident Dr. Evil, but I was literally going to say, if you can find Manhunter on 4K, I guess maybe there's not a 4K, but that's the perfect kind of movie, if you've never seen it, to go and find the highest resolution of it, pop it in for the first time and take it in. Because it's like John Carpenter's The Thing. It was just, those movies don't relate at all, but it's the kind of movie that was just way ahead of its fucking time, man. Like if Manhunter came out today, probably win all the fucking Oscars. It's that fucking good. It's great. Okay, let me put this to a vote.
Only if they put a chick in it, make her gay. Put a chick in it, make it gay.
You guys say the most rewatchable Paranormal Activity movie is Paranormal Activity, 55%. Marked ones and P2 are tied for 17%, and most people disagree with me, saying Paranormal Activity 3 is the most rewatchable at a lowly 10%.
Marked one's good. If you guys haven't checked out Marked ones, because everybody would they always skip over that one. They always talk about the other one. Like, I don't know why. They just skip over it, but it's a great one.
Silence of the Lambs.
Hello, Christ.
I always
by the way, I didn't know that, but that particular scene, what we're referencing is the cable guy. Part of that where Jim Carrey puts a bunch of fried chicken on his face when he's talking to Matthew Broderick, and he goes, "Silence of the Lambs." There's a scene when you watch that. Actually, Matthew Broderick broke character and he started laughing. Like if you can see him laughing, that's legitimate. He's actually laughing because he didn't know he was going to do that.
Fucking cable guy is one of the greatest of all times. All right, Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror's got a billion fucking movies. But let's be honest, there's only 4 that can even enter this realm of goddamn conversation. That's the original Amityville Horror film. That is Amityville 2, The Possession, which is super underrated, even though it features a really weird fucking incestual relationship between a brother and their sister. And Amityville 3D, which is not great, but the remake. And we're talking not the best movie, the most rewatchable. And I got to go with the fucking remake, dude. I watched that movie way more than any of these other movies. Maybe it's just Ryan Reynolds wearing a white t-shirt, running around in the rain in pajama pants, but I thought the remake was so fucking good.
Well, Ryan Reynolds, you picked a really bad picture of him, dude. He looks like a fucking 1993 documentary on HBO about the dangers of steroid abuse.
He looks like most of us during winter when we get the sniffles.
Yeah, he's like he's like looking at the text messages between Baldoni and Lively. It's like, what you say? No, I agree. The remake was I feel like severely underrated. I feel like not enough people give it credit and give credit to Ryan Reynolds of how good of a job that he did with that. As not only like in a horror role, but a dramatic role as well. By the way, Buried is great. He did a great job in Buried as well, in a dramatic setting.
He's a good fucking actor, man.
He's a good actor.
How are people pooping on him?
Even Denzel, he's like, a lot of other people call him one trick pony. I don't care if he is or not. I love Deadpool, so suck my ass. I will, but for me, I'm gonna put Amityville, the first one. There's something really haunting about that movie. Maybe it's much like how you like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Yeah,
maybe it's just the way it's filmed and the way
it's tearing me apart.
Yeah, that guy, Roland, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was such an incredible actor, and those scenes are so well done, and you can actually, he conveys those emotions so well, and just the way it's shot. Maybe it's because it's shot on the old timey film or the way that it was shot in the set. It fucks with me. That whole movie, like it comes across when you first watch that movie. It doesn't really feel like it's gonna fuck with you. But then it does. Like the music, the way they ramp up the scenes, the way there's
so many sex scenes of him having slow, hot sex with his wife, Mario. Yeah,
it's like, that's fucking Clark Kent's girl, you piece of shit. But no, it's for me, it's the original one all day. But I mean, like 100% right next to it is the remake.
Yeah, no, it's tight. It's real tight. I agree with you. As far as Silence of the Lambs franchise goes, you guys say that Silence of the Lambs is the most rewatchable at 68%. Second place is Red Dragon at 13%. Third place is Hannibal at 11%. And you pieces of shit put Manhunter at 7%. You haven't fucking seen it. Yeah, just say you haven't seen the fucking film, okay? It's okay. I only watched it this year.
Somebody said, somebody in the chat said Red Dragon was a remake of Manhunter.
It was. That is 100% correct. Yeah, with Ed Norton. Guys, you gotta watch Manhunter. Fucking, I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. Let me put this one up for a poll though. As far as Amityville goes, most rewatch.
Ryan Reynolds also looks like you're looking at your turd in the toilet. Like, that's not normal. I might have to go to the doctor.
That's true. That's 100% true.
That's not normal.
But dude, shout out Amityville 2. That's a really entertaining movie. Not a lot of people talk about that movie. So, but it is March after all. The Leprechaun franchise.
My favorite part is when the credits roll. That's my favorite part.
None of them are great.
Well, you know what? It's Leprechaun 1, obviously. That's the only one that I would give a shit about. I don't like any of the. Dude, I must have blocked them out in my head. I'd seen 2 and 3. I just don't remember shit about them because I blocked them.
Yeah, dude, Leprechaun in Space is pretty fucking funny at times. Leprechaun 2 is half good. Leprechaun is, again, it's the original, so you give it credence. I'm gonna go Leprechaun in the Hood, even though it's been so long since I've seen it, just because it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I'll go Leprechaun in the Hood, but what do you guys think? Let's see what people are saying in the chat. I won't even put this one up to a vote because it's kind of fucking silly. Got a Leprechaun 3 in there. We got Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun 3. I didn't realize 3 was so.
I don't remember any of them.
3. It looks like 3 wins with you guys. It looks like people say Leprechaun 3 is their favorite, but I don't think anybody's a real big fan of this franchise. To be honest with you, it's not good.
I mean, maybe somebody in Ireland.
Oh, I fucking love me Lucky Charms.
I drink me Lucky Charms and drink my Guinness watching Leprechaun every goddamn day. It was a terrible Irish accent, but it is.
3's the Vegas one, right? 3's
it's Vegas.
So that's I get it now. All right, let's go to a great one. Let's get that shitty Leprechaun taste out of our mouths. Let's go. I'm sorry, I watched too much Pat McAfee. Evil Dead. Not the best, the most rewatchable Evil Dead movie. This is definitely going to a poll.
Yeah, I already know my answer, and I have to pee. I'm going to give my answer, and then I'm going to run away like a coward because I don't want to see your response. It's going to be Army of Darkness. Okay, leave me alone. It's going to be Army of Darkness because I think it's funny, and I like Bruce Campbell in that funny guy role, and it was really cool. And let's get the hell out of here. I liked it. Like, they started that trend in Evil Dead 2 where they were leaning a lot more into comedy. And again, I'm not saying Army of Darkness is the best of any of that. Okay, obviously it's not, but Army of Darkness, for me, I feel like that movie specifically is where they got the idea for Duke Nukem. the hail to the king, baby, or give me some sugar, baby. I feel like that is the caricature that they went for. Not Evil Dead 2 Ash, but Army of Darkness Ash. So when I watch Army of Darkness, it's basically watching Duke Nukem fuck shit up in the medieval times. But that's what it is. It's just I feel like it's entertaining from the beginning to the end. It's funny. It's got a couple horror moments in it, not a lot, but it's still fun. I don't know. It's Army of Darkness.
You make a really good point with the Duke Nukem thing you do. Enjoy it a bit time.
Okay, I'll be back.
Enjoy it. My answer, guys, is going to be, and I'm going to put this to a poll for you guys. My answer is going to be Evil Dead 2, as average as that may seem. For me, they're all rewatchable. Let me say that first and foremost. Every single movie in this franchise, super rewatchable. It might be the highest quality franchise, start to finish, of all of them. It's got an argument to be made. But Evil Dead 2 for me, it takes everything great about Evil Dead 1 is in Evil Dead 2. So you put that baby to bed right now. It has comedy in it, and it's a better film than Army of Darkness for me. So I'll put it above Army of Darkness. Evil Dead, the remake, is fan-fucking-tastic as a film. Evil Dead Rise stands no chance compared. But I would take Evil Dead 2 basically over the remake. It comes closest to those for me. So I'm going to go Evil Dead 2. Because it's got all the comedy in there. It's got all the Bruce Campbellism. He's fully into the role at this point. They had a little bit more of a budget. It's crazy. It's silly. It's scary as fuck. I think Evil Dead 2 is underratedly scary as shit, dude. When they're sitting there like, no. It's so weird and fucking out there that it still freaks me the fuck out. So, yeah, that's what I'm going with for that one. So I'll put that poll up. As far as the Amityville poll, you guys agree with me, and that feels nice. And it feels especially nice that it was at a 69% clip. Amityville Remake is your most rewatchable Amityville film. Second place, the original, at 26%, and Amityville 2 at 9%. Let me put this poll up for you guys. This is going to be an interesting one. I cannot wait to see with Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2, Army of the Darkness, the remake. And I don't think Evil Dead Rise is going to win the most rewatchable of all those. So that'll be the 4, since they only give us 4 options. So you guys vote on that in the meantime, as you guys vote on that, let me jump back into some of these super chits. Tyler, thanks, buddy. He says, not popular, but for me and my daughter, it's definitely Scream 4. It's the first one I ever showed her, and it made her fall in love with the whole franchise and horror in general. And that I totally understand. While 4 was my least rewatchable of the franchise, there's something special about watching it with your kid for the first time, for sure. I loved a couple of years ago taking my teenager to see the original Scream. She'd never seen it for the first time in the theater. We just did it with 7 as well. It was so fun to sit and watch her watch 7, having never seen it. And I'm like looking at her at all the parts to see her reaction. And she loved it. It was great. But I totally get that, man. I really get that. When you watch them with your kids, it makes it that much more special to you. That was a quick pee, dude. I'm impressed. You muted yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I peed all over the toilet seat lid. I didn't even care. I was like, I'm not wiping that up.
I appreciate you, Tyler, man. That's very nice of you. Thank you. I lost my way. Daniel Torres says won $325 last night on Prize Picks.
Nice,
perfect
man.
timing. Took my girl, her sister, and my son and nephew to Legoland today. It was awesome. Wham time now. Woo! Dude, I've been to Legoland. I went there.
I won $25 on a scratch off today, and I'm happy.
Did you really?
That.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was $10. It was a $10 scratch off, but I won 25.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's how you do it. If you're going to pay it, you got to buy the bigger ones because you're not going to have a chance mostly otherwise. But Katie won $150 at the casino at Vegas last week. So that was nice. I've not won anything in betting in a while, so congratulations on that, man. And Legoland, we went there like in 2018, I think, something like that, somewhere way back in there. We actually got a free ticket to go because I used the channel. I think
I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, I was like, we have a YouTube channel. Can I have a free ticket to Legoland? And they were like, yeah, they actually gave me a free fucking ticket to Legoland. I barely remember. My daughter had a great time, though. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad you guys had a good time. And congratulations on the winnings. Gary says, damn, Mike, with them chips were so hard that you could use them in Saw instead of the classic knife. The hot chip that we did? Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah, I would not. I did not want to participate in that.
Dude, this is going to sound silly as fuck, but could you imagine a Saw trap where Jigsaw literally is like, I'm going to go old school. And like he sat someone down and he just made them eat like 100 of those chips, or like
you die.
fed them.
you have to, you die.
Honest to God, dude, they should do that, because like all the traps are so similar with like their mechanics and shit like that. If you force fed someone really hot shit, whether it was the hot packy chip or not that we did, the ghost pepper chip, or if it was just like Dracula peppers, and or maybe you put like a straw in there and like force fed the goo into them, and he sat and watched them suffer and die from their intestines burning up. That is a good damn idea for a fucking saw kill. Obviously, you got to incorporate a choice into there somehow. So I don't know what that other choice would be, but you're onto something, my friend.
Either that, or you have to drink milk until you explode.
That would suck too. That'd be equally.
Either one would be bad.
It's like the opening death of 7 levels.
Yeah, dude. Like that part. Like, everybody talks about that part where that dude was like starved to death. Like that part did like make duty roll down your leg when you had never seen it before. When he like is alive on the bed, the one that he'd been starving to death. But but as far as the most horrific way to die, that dude that eats the SpaghettiOs until his fucking stomach explodes. God damn, so.
As Rough City Central, man. Hey, I got a tinkle now. We're at and when I get back, we'll get right back into the thing. We are at good old Florida Dan here at 824 Pim.
All right.
I'll be right back.
All right. Florida Dan coming in hot says, we got heel John Cena before we got a new Friday the 13th film. Isn't that something in that daisy? I know, dude. I heard about that. That's crazy. We had a buddy of ours on when we were doing the script reading thing like last week, and he was talking about a lot the heel turn, but a lot of people were saying that the heel turn of John Cena was like the greatest thing that's ever happened in wrestling history. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like the heel turn of Hulk Hogan's was pretty. I mean, for me, that was the biggest point in wrestling history as far as like holy shit. But I mean, I get it. That's a big deal. But you're right. Can we please get that film? I don't know. Is it possible? But thanks, Florida. Colton says, Daredevil Born Again is a 10 out of 10. That first 15 minutes, fire. It is fire, sir. Colton, member for 7 months. You are absolutely correcto. It was great. I don't know. There are some disagreements happening on Twitter and such, as there would be. But I think that most people can agree that particular opening scene is incredible. I think that they stick true to the Netflix legacy, as I mentioned earlier. And I think it was awesome. I hope we get more of that later on down the line. I want to see Daredevil in his costume. I do. So hopefully. But yeah, right on, Colton. D Bitch, member for 8 months as well. Thank you. Says top 3 rewatchable horror movies. OAT time for both of you. What do you say? I'm D Mitch. I'm sorry. I've had some apple juices, so I'm not. Top 3 rewatchable movies. OAT. You know what? I'm going to come back to that because I don't know. Maybe you'll clarify in the chat. I don't know. OAT movie. What is that? I don't know what that is. Robin Barker, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. Austin, once again, thank you so much for your support. Says X should have taken the Friday 5 approach. Old lady. Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good.
I got 5 on it.
D Mitch is asking top 3 rewatchable horror movies OAT time for both of you. I don't know what OAT is.
Oof.
What is OAT?
Of all time?
I'm fucking stupid, dude.
Stupid idiot.
I literally read it like oats.
You dummy.
Like it's like what's your oats? I was like, God damn, dude. Like I was like, I barely started drinking, and it's already like holy shit. What's your favorite oats? So I really got to go with like the classic, which is
Quaker.
The Quaker.
The Quaker.
Top 3 rewatchable horror movies of all time for both of you. 3.
Scream, Halloween 4, and Shaun of the Dead. That was hot.
Halloween, Pumpkinhead, and I know Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Okay.
I like it. I like what you did.
Don't you dare put me on the spot like that, D Mitch. And I'm sorry,
I'm
stupid.
Sweet and sensual.
We've also got Michael Parton. Jay, can you do Mrs. Bates' impression? But you do it so much better than me, Michael. You know that, Michael Parton. I don't know what you're going to say. I'm just a head. in Michael's mantelpiece. I'm really, you know what? I'm going more into Slender Man when I was doing that, but yeah, that's the best you're gonna get.
He's just a head, and Michael's a nightmare.
Austin says, we didn't forget about your sharpshooting exploits, Jay. Go, Whip, go! That's true. I did that. I hit dead on, eye center, dead eyes, they would call it in some industry circles. I literally scored it in a girl's eye from across the room. I didn't mean to. It was total accident. But that's what happens when she says, tell me when you're close.
That'll get you.
And it got me.
It gets the best of us, man. So as far as the Evil Dead vote goes, you guys picked the most rewatchable Evil Dead. They agree with me, Jay. You whore. 36% Evil Dead 2 is the most rewatchable. Second place is a tie between Army of Darkness and the remake. And the original comes in at a lowly 11%.
Yeah, the Evil Dead original it's still good in its own way, but there's really no need to go watch it after Evil Dead 2. Like zero.
Yeah, that's fair. No disrespect to it, but it's true. How about the old Poltergeist Francisco sandwiches?
Let me in, and we'll talk about it. That's Joe Biden talking at the White House door when he got locked up. Let me in, and we'll talk about it.
Listen, I don't think there's a need for a vote on this one. The closest thing you could possibly get is possibly 2, but I think everyone's going to stay the original here.
It's the first one. Yeah, it's the original. But Poltergeist 2 is actually really good. It's actually underrated. I think a lot of people do just not consider it as much of a classic as the first one, which I understand why. But the first one is God tier. But the second one's great. Third one, pretty bad. Remake is utter dog shit.
Yeah, there's not a Poltergeist 4 Iron Wolf, but there is a remake starring Sam Rockwell, which if you think Sam Rockwell in a fucking Poltergeist remake, you think probably pretty good, right? No says Target piece of shit is what that movie is.
Yeah. Like Sam Rockwell had better lines in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when he was like, menthol or regular.
Yeah, that's his first movie. It's Poltergeist there, man. Class movie. By the way, we just watched that with Eric from Pretty Much It. So if you're a fan of Pretty Much It on their Patreon, you should look forward to that. Sure. So Insidious, the Francisco. Most rewatchable Insidious movie. I think it's an easy original. I think some people may say 2, but I think it's the original for me.
The original is great. The second one's not bad either. Here's the thing. I can't remember the last one at all. I really can't remember the last one. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. And say I love you. You might say no, but I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna go with the third one. And the reason why is I liked Lin Shaye a lot. I thought Lin Shaye was really, really good. I hated that they killed her character off so quickly in the first film. Well, they didn't kill her quickly off, but she wasn't, they killed her off. I didn't like that at all. And I know that she was back in the second one, but as a spirit or whatever. I like the third one where they like show how she started and what was her motivation behind it, and how the ghost team members got to, Specs and the big guy met and they started their whole little thing with her. I just liked the third one. To me was more charming, and I liked it. It just had not as good of a movie, of course. Insidious 1 is the superior.
I think you're a crazy woman who makes terrible decisions.
Guys, I have news. Transition time. No, but the third one for me is the most rewatchable.
Go Power Rangers.
Go Crackosaurus. I'll go with the third one, but it would be followed closely behind by the second one. But I like the third one. I really do like that movie.
It's the easy first Insidious for me, but I will say, man, if you're younger and maybe like you just experienced the later sequels in the franchise, I don't think people really, if the younger people don't understand how great the first Insidious was because it was so original.
It was really good.
Sitting in a theater and watching that
Insidious
came on the screen,
shit, so good. What? Dude, I got a Charlie horse in my goddamn thigh, dude. Like I had you're gay. Yeah, it means I'm on my knees too much.
I knew it.
I need to stretch more when I'm out behind the alleyways in Speedway. No,
you Google it. You're like, why did I get a Charlie horse in my leg? And WebMD is like, why are you gay?
No, it's like I'm gonna Google that tonight. It's like you're dying.
Of course, naturally.
Yeah. WebMD says you're dying. No, anyway, yeah. Tomo Ogata says, Jay, you need more water. I know that. I gonna work on that later. I swear to God.
How about the old Exorcist, Francisco? It's either the original Exorcist or it's 3, and there is no in between, and everybody knows that. We didn't even include Blumhouse on this list because that movie was a hot tater and a storm sandwich. I don't know what that means.
I don't want to experience no taters in a storm sandwich. What?
For some reason, that reminds me of that episode of Fresh Prince where Uncle Phil was on a diet because he had a bad heart, and like he begged Will. He's like, "Please go get me some chili cheese sandwiches." And Will's like, "All right," and he does. And then Uncle Phil has a heart attack, but beforehand, he's like, he's dreaming of food, and he's like, "Hot pillowy mounds of mashed potatoes."
Dude,
I don't know why
we missed the boat on that. I saw there's a YouTube reaction channel that they're going through all the Fresh Princes. I was like, fuck, dude, that would have been cool. I haven't seen like watching them all episode by episode.
Yeah, dude, the best episode is bar none when they go to Vegas and Carlton gets addicted to gambling and he's like, "I'm over it. I've changed my ways." And Will goes, "Hey, there's a quarter over there." He's like, "What? Where?" He starts knocking all over the floor.
I was like that one where he's like, "How come you don't want me no more, man?" The dad one, that was fucking brutal. Yeah. Very good though. Very good. Anyway, but let's get back on topic.
The Vegas one though, when they did the song, when they did the stripping thing to get their money because they didn't have money for their flight home, and they did the song, and it was like bum 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 bum, Taito, jump on it, jump on it. That was fucking great. That was a good one.
JPEG says, "How about Hellraiser?" Well, we've done that. Oh, did you not put the? Did you? Yeah, Hellraiser 1-1. Hellraiser, the first one.
Yeah. Hellraiser 1-1. That is correct.
The Exorcist.
Is the original? There's no question, right?
Well, the original, but the third one is fucking good, dude.
Third one's great, but is it more rewatchable? It's not a great rewatchable movie. It's long.
I personally don't feel like you should rewatch any of these films unless you have you like playing Russian roulette with the devil. You pieces of shit. No, but it's the first one. The first one holds up. Like it holds up so well even today. Like it's a perfectly made movie. It's perfectly made.
You guys are right, by the way, when it comes to Insidious. Throw in the dead towel. Throw the dead towel. Insidious wins 83%, the original. 13% for the second one. 3% for Insidious 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say 89% for the third one? That's what I thought you said. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. That's what happened. You're right. Exorcist, I'll put one up real quick for the original versus the third one, because that's the only question, right?
Yeah, none of the other ones. Yeah. But The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, is literally just a recap of the first one.
Awful movie.
It's literally, it's absolutely the definition of unneeded.
Donkey wieners. Donkey wieners from Texas town. We did this one. All right, we got a banger. We got a banger coming up here, fuckers. And that is the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
A lot of hot topic debates are going to go on at Spencer's tomorrow at the mall with this one, because this might rattle the cages a little bit.
Right around the Cookie Mart. Or the
the Cookie Mart is not part of the food court.
Food court is part of the eatery. Yeah, that
kid. But the eatery is not part, but the food court is in the eatery section.
That settles it. I'm watching Mallrats when we're done tonight.
You got to watch it. Most rewatchable Nightmare on Elm Street film.
That's tough, dude.
It's a tough one. Because here's the thing: Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is classic, but it's kind of goofy too. Like it's really special effects don't hold up. The long ass fucking arms running at you.
Some do.
Some of them do, but I always remember the alleyway scene when his arms stretch out impossibly long and he's like running towards you like, I don't know, a fucking guy from Speedway asking if you got a quarter. And you're like, what? Leave me alone.
Hey, are not all of these films rewatchable, with the exception of maybe 5, the remake, and
6.
New Nightmare?
Freddy's Dead sucks, dude. That one's really bad.
5, 6, and the remake. Other than that, they're all very rewatchable.
Here's the thing. One of my favorite films in this particular series here that's listed on the screen is the third one. I think the third one is incredible. I really did enjoy that movie. I liked it a lot. Shut your fucking goddamn whore ass mouth.
Me.
That was weird. Go shut up. Suck a dick, Casper. I will put, but here's the thing. I would normally go with 3. But I'm going to go with 2. I'm gonna go with 2. I like 2 quite a bit. I like 2 quite a bit. Okay.
You sound like Trump again.
Quite a bit. I liked it. He came into my office. I said, "Fuck you." That's what I told him. I said, "Get out of here. You're not huge. You're no big deal." But yeah, I will say, I will say 2, and I think 2 is most rewatchable to me just because it's so different than anything else that was in the series. It's 100, and also I love the way that Freddy looks in that. Like they went with more of a witch look to him, the contacts, his cheekbones, everything, and then you've got the body, or you've got the brain, I've got the body, all that shit. It's cool, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm gonna do this now. I agree with you fucking wholeheartedly on 2. I really do. I am gonna go 4 though. I love rewatching part 4.
4 is good. 4 is good,
dude. I love the little Karate Kid in there. I think he's great. His death sucked, but like
until you find out the reason why that whole thing wasn't filmed because they ran out of money. That's why he was fighting an invisible Freddy.
Fucking wild. Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, we got no more money."
But you got Freddy on the beach as a shark wearing the sunglasses. You got the cockroach kill, which is the greatest kill in the franchise in my opinion. Amazing kill. I fucking adore part 4. I love it. Running from this nightmare.
Yep, she was great too.
With an STD. That's not how the song goes. But no, but it'd be 2 or 4 for me. I'm gonna take 4 today. I am.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and I feel like when Nightmare 1 came out, obviously it got all the praise, which it absolutely should have, the accolades, because it was so different and so weird. And it would have, like, I could only imagine in 1984 going to see that movie and being freaked the fuck out, because everyone's got to sleep. You can't get away. It's not like you're going to a cabin in the woods and a psycho killer might kill you, or like a babysitter thing in Halloween. It's like you have to fucking sleep. So that in of itself is crazy. But when Nightmare 2 came out, it was so completely different than the first one. I think that a lot of people kind of didn't like it because it didn't have the Wes Craven seasonings on it.
Yeah.
And then when they came out with Nightmare 3, he wrote Nightmare 3. He didn't direct Nightmare 3. But it has more of the Wes Craven in it.
I'm going to put this up to a vote, and I know what's going to happen because every time we talk about this franchise, it happens. All right. But I just want to make one more final claim to the people of New York City. All right. Nightmare 3 Dream Warriors is an overrated fucking film. Okay, listen to me,
you piece of shit.
Dude. Hear me the fuck out. Listen, first half of that movie is fantastic, and then they go into fucking Harry Potter territory, and it's like, I'm bad and fucking awful Harry Potter graphic dog shit. Okay, Neil running around punking out Nancy's dad. Like, I know he was drunk, but Neil pretending he's a fucking badass. Neil was an asshole piece of shit, absolute ass character. Okay. Everyone's like, I'm a superhero in my dreams. Like, totally watered the fuck down. Freddy Krueger.
You're out of line. You're removed from this court. Censure him.
Have the gentleman.
Sergeant of the Arms, remove him from the court.
Have the gentleman removed, please.
No. Well, you know what? I understand. A lot of the special effects weren't what they could have been. I like the movie. I feel like I got what they were going for, and it's literally called the Dream Warriors. Like the whole presents itself right away. Like, this is what it's going to be.
First half that movie's a fucking 10. The second half is a 4, buddy.
You also got skinny Lawrence Fishburne, which you don't see a lot of today. You just don't see it. But he looked good. He looked good. Looked strong.
The guy 2B, get him.
I love Nightmare 3 personally. I always loved Nightmare 3, but the thing is, it was definitely not the vision Wes Craven had wrote in that script, but that script apparently was so expensive. They're like, there's no fucking way. There's no way we're going to be able to put all this in there. So they had to cut out a lot of stuff. It'd be interesting. Like, if anybody would ever go back and remake Nightmare 3 and actually do it to the vision of Wes Craven to see what it would look like and be like, I think your mind might be changed. I think your mind.
Health and Fitness with Nick said Mike says some crazy stuff. I like it.
Mike's fucking Freddy Krueger when he like stabs that kid with the glasses. Like, sorry, kid. I don't believe in fairy tales.
Yeah. As far as The Exorcist, you guys say Exorcist the original 74% to Exorcist 3 26%. A whopping. But let's put Nightmare in the poll.
But you also get Nightmare 3. You get Freddy with the heroin fingers. He's like, let's get high.
Yeah, that was a great scene. But it was off the back of I'm beautiful and I'm bad.
That's the thing about Nightmare. Nightmare 3 had some of the most memorable characters in all of them. Kincaid, Joey, all those guys, and then they fucking threw them away in Nightmare 4 right at the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. That is true. That is facts. The vote's up there for you guys now. I know you're going to hurt my heart and you're going to pick Nightmare 3, and that's fine.
Stop trying to fucking season it with your own goddamn.
I'm going to sleep with all your mothers and your fathers and your dogs. The Omen franchise. Most rewatchable, not the best, because that's the original. The most rewatchable Omen film in the franchise, and what is it? It's tough.
Well, here's the thing. I don't remember Omen 2 at all.
That's when he was a teenager, a little snotty fuck.
Yeah, he was like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. Did he die? I don't remember it at all. The Omen, the original, I remember pretty vividly. The one with Sam Neill when he was president of the United States, I do kind of remember that one, but I remember it was like I remember watching it. It was like cheap. It felt and looked cheap.
It was the ending, dude. At the end, it's
Yeah.
all of a sudden God comes down. And he's like, nobody touches God, and then the movie
Yeah.
fucking ends.
See,
Like,
that's
I was
what
like,
I that maybe I remember like thinking even back then it was like it felt like a TNT like movie made for TV or something.
We did Psycho earlier, Tiffany. You missed it. Why?
The remake with Julia Stiles, don't remember at all.
No, terrible.
Don't remember at all. I will say so. It's going to be the Omen, the original Omen. If that's what it's going to be.
That's a fair bet, and it's the right answer in my opinion. I don't think we need to put this to a vote. Is anybody going to pick anything other than the first Omen? By the way, or the original Omen, the first Omen, dude. You're absolutely right about that, Jonathan Gerardo. We should do a Patreon first time specialty watch commentary for the first Omen, because dude, it was fucking good. That movie was fucking.
I haven't seen it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, like you'll like it. It was great. Now I've watched this franchise a couple times, and look, Omen 4 is fucking worthless. The remake's worthless. Final Conflict is cool because it has Sam Neill in it, but the ending is dog shit. 2 is kind of cool because there's some great death scenes in it for sure. But you got to go with the Omen because it's Richard Donner. You got that classic death scene of "It's All For You," all that shit. So you really have to go with the first Omen, even though it's slow. Not a lot of these movies have a lot of great rewatchability to them.
You know what would be interesting too is like I know that someone has mentioned a first time watch with the first Omen, but we doing a man versus movie of the Omens might be pretty fun too. But I feel like they're long, aren't they? Long? I don't know. I could be wrong. They're like 2 hours.
I did that on Patreon.
You did it?
Yeah. When you, it was like it was a couple years ago. You took a break for a little bit and we couldn't do the Patreon party. So I did that instead. Dude, I literally, Katie watched the first couple of them with me.
Yeah.
But when I got to the 4th Omen, I fucking fell asleep on air. Like it was so bad, dude. I fell asleep like recording it for like 20 minutes and I woke up and the movie was on. I was like, oh, hey guys, hey, I'm sorry.
It's like someone shaved the back of my head. See if there's six back there.
That's how bad it was.
Well, then I guess first time watch of the first Omen will be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and I would do the man versus movie with you again because it's.
No, I don't know. If you've already gone through the torture, I will not say go into it again.
Thank you.
The fire.
I didn't want to. I
was gonna say I wouldn't do that.
Something else I wouldn't want to go through is the Conjuring universe all in one night. That'd be fucking terrible. Now this includes the spinoffs. It's not just the original 3 movies. So you got the Conjuring 1, 2, 3. You got Annabelle Creation. You got the Nun 2, Annabelle. You got Annabelle Comes Home. You got the Curse of La Llorona. Awful franchise. It's the Walmart of horror. In my opinion,
I don't know about that.
Terrible shit franchise.
I think the Conjuring, the first one is the most rewatchable. I think it's the best of all of them. But I did enjoy the one where all the fucking evil deities get out of their cage. they run amok. Was that was a creation? That was just Annabelle, wasn't it? No,
that was.
That's not on here. Was that? Comes Home. It's Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah, it's Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah, I like that because I remember watching that in the theater and I'm like, this is kind of like Ghostbusters when they all escape from the containment unit and they're like, we gotta get them back in there.
Yeah. OKC says bad take. The first 2 and Creation are solid. It's just me, dude. I've never.
Yeah,
I've watched The Conjuring 20 goddamn times trying to figure out what people like about that movie. It's the most standard ass, basic fucking horror movie I've ever seen in my life. I do not get it, but I'm the minority. You're right. I'm wrong. It's fine.
I personally, I think the most rewatchable of all of them is The Conjuring 1. I think The Conjuring 1 is insanely good. I thought it was really good. I never put it on the level of The Exorcist, but it had the same spirit of The Exorcist. No, I mean, it was like maybe the Diet Coke version of The Exorcist. But when I did not expect that fucking possession scene at the end of the goddamn movie, and that scared the shit out of me. And then the clap thing was scary.
Yeah, and that was in the trailer too. Yeah, I think everyone's gonna go Conjuring here, the original Conjuring. And I don't even know what the vote would be because after the Conjuring, there's such a hard fucking.
Well, you could put the Conjuring, the Conjuring 2, the Devil Made Me Do It was garbage. Personally, Sharona was awful. What I would do is I put the Conjuring 2, the Nun, and Annabelle Creation.
The Nun character was great, but the movie fucking.
Because you know what, Annabelle Creation actually it had a moment where it could have been good. Okay.
All right, I'll put those in a vote for sure. But as far as Nightmare goes, God damn it! You fucking fucks, dicks!
Was it Nightmare 3?
Shit.
I bet
Yes!
it was Nightmare 3.
Yeah, so?
I knew
yeah,
my
so?
peoples would
You
come through.
fucks.
Once
You
again, I have been
fucking
elected your president.
Year after fucking year, no one will listen to my campaign. Nightmare 3 wins 41%. I hate everyone, and I'm taking my ball.
I picked Nightmare 2, by the way.
Never coming back to school. Never.
But Nightmare 3 was always in my heart.
41% picked Nightmare 3. Cocks. And then second place goes to the original at 29%. So yeah, whatever. It's fine. Shit.
Enhance, as Jacob Miller says. Enhance.
Oh, god damn you all. You always do this to me. It hurts. Most rewatchable. Conjuring 2.
Somebody who wasn't here, somebody said JT Custom says the Nun 2 was better than the first movie, but not amazing. I
would agree it was better than the first movie.
Dude, I fully expected to go in having a full-on like panic attack where I was gonna have to go on antidepressants the way they advertised the Nun. And when I watched it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, that's it?
Yeah, dude.
That's
that fucking Nun movie was such a cool character. It was such a scary looking character, and then they did fucking nothing with it.
Did them dirty.
Yeah, did them nasty.
It's like putting Shaq on the fucking foul line when you're down by 1. You're like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, stop it. It hurts. Predator franchise. This should be interesting. Most rewatchable Predator movie. It's the original. Does anyone disagree?
I think it's gonna be the original all day long, every day. I like the jungle. Let's get in there and hang out with Arnie. But even though I will say, and I used to fucking hate Predator 2, but Predator 2 is good. It's good.
I like
it's different, totally different than the first movie, and I think that's why I got a little bit more hatred when it came out, because it was so removed from the Arnie in the jungle, like badass buff dude taking on the Predator, and then you had fucking that's the guy from Lethal Weapon taking on Predator. But for me, it's Predator 1 all day long. Predators, by the way, I like Predators. I like the idea behind Predators, where they all capture a bunch of people and they drop them.
I like the guy said it, or no, that was sorry, I missed it was Cal. It said, the whole time you're afraid of that nun bitch when she's standing in the corners and shit, nothing happens.
That's what it is. It's like that. It's like having sleep paralysis, and you wake up and that pile of clothes in your corner that you're afraid is a ghost, and you're like. And you're trying to move it, and then it doesn't move. You're like, that was just a pile of clothes.
Dude, that happened to me again last night, by the way. I have this thing where if I'm super stressed out or super tired or whatever, sometimes I will literally hallucinate while I'm sleeping. And it's almost the same thing that happens. It's not like a continuous thing. It's not like night terrors like people have, but I will wake up and I will look at the ceiling and I will see like some sort of shadow figure move across the ceiling. And it's so real that I will jump up out of bed and start flailing and screaming. And last night it happened to me again. And this time it was a spider about that fucking big, a big black spider. And it was I have a bottle of water next to my bedpost, and I looked up and saw it moving across. And then Ellie was in the bed with us. And it was like 4:00 in the morning. And I saw that shit. And I immediately went, whoop! That's what I said. I said, whoop! And I jumped up and knocked all the covers off myself and stood up and immediately realized what I'd done and that it wasn't real. And I just,
that's the worst feeling.
Oh, dude, I was so embarrassed. And normally, like, it goes on for a second and I'm like freaking out. But this time I recognized it immediately and I went, whoop! And I jumped onto my feet out of the bed and I was afraid that I woke them up. So I walked straight into the bathroom and shut the door behind me, like angry. I was like mad at what happened.
You're a claustrophobic. Hey, I never even looked at another guy. No, I had that happen. Was a long time. I remember I did that same kind of thing where I had a night terror and I legitimately thought a fucking raccoon had jumped on my feet while I was laying in bed, because I felt the weight and everything, dude. It was a big fat fucking raccoon, and it came in the door. It opened the door and like jumped up on the bed, and I could feel it like hit my legs, and it was like looking at me in glowing eyes, and I kicked up like I was like going for the goal-winning post in soccer, and like I kicked the shit out of April. I kicked her really fucking hard, dude, because her ass was like right here, and my leg went and hit. And she's like, "Baby." I'm like, oh shit, there's a raccoon in here. But anyway, it sucks, dude. Night terrors are terrible.
Oh, the worst, dude. I literally went in the bathroom. I just stood there like, God. Yeah. And I didn't wake anybody up, thank Christ. But yeah, no, I'd go Predator is obviously the answer. If we had to pick a second most rewatchable Predator, it'd probably be Predator 2, right? At all.
Yeah. I saw that somebody say AVP, but I mean,
People love it. I mean, I don't think it's
like AVP is fun. Like it's a fun. It's like Freddy versus Jason. Like it's not a lot on story, but it is fun. It's a fun movie. But yeah, I pick Predator too. If I don't know, because I liked Predators a lot. Like I Predators is a really good movie.
Oscar-winning, two-time Oscar-winning Adrian Brody. And that one, by the way.
He was.
By the way, you guys picked The Conjuring, easy money, 75%. Second place was Annabelle 2 with 12. As far as that one goes. All right. What's this one here? Okay, so I put Dracula movies in there. That wide spans everything. We won't put this one to vote. There's so fucking many, but if I had to pick the most rewatchable Dracula movie, listen, I love Nosferatu a lot. I know some people didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed the cinematography. The look of it, I thought it was fucked up. That's what I'm going with. But that being said, I fucking loathe Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1992. I know
Gary
people
Oldman,
love that movie.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I think that movie's a piece of shit. I can never get through it. So mine's not.
By the way, look at Gerard Butler in 2000, Dracula 2000. He looks like the lead singer of "I Need You Tonight" because I'm not sleeping.
Hey, I bet I'm gonna guess
about you, girl.
I bet yours is Monster Squad, isn't
it? Yes, bitch, it is. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not the best Dracula movie of all time, but the iteration of that character played by this, I don't know. I don't know who the actor is. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know who he is, but he did such a phenomenal job in Monster Squad portraying a classic Dracula meeting a Jund. I think that's when I think of Dracula, I think of that guy. However, I will say Dracula Untold. I like that movie a lot. I thought that movie was really, really good. So it'd be a tie between them. But as far as like, if I were going to watch a film that depicted Dracula in any way, shape, or form, what movie would I watch? It would be the Monster Squad. That Dracula is perfect. And I know that he's supposed to be the Bela Lugosi Dracula, which people are like, why wouldn't you just pick the Bela Lugosi? Because I don't want to. I'll pick that guy from the Monster Squad.
My 1A would be 1931 Dracula for sure. But no, I really enjoyed Nosferatu a lot. And by the way,
I still have to watch the. By the way, he's talking about the new Nosferatu, not the 1922 Nosferatu.
Yes, new one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. But a lot of people in the chat saying Blackula was really good. You know, I've never seen it either, but I bet I would fucking like that a lot. I'm gonna check it out for sure. I've never even thought about that. So
I like that part, by the way. In Monster goes, "I will have your son." He's like, huh? And then he has that fucking dynamite. Like out of context, it sounds like a Diddy thing, but
it does.
It was really, it was a good movie.
Get out of here, hell! I don't want to touch you right now. Talking about Jaws.
All right, well, that you know what, this is going to be bad because the only Jaws that I remember is Jaws 1. That's it.
I vaguely remember the other movies, but there's no way that we don't have to put this to a poll. Is anybody gonna say anything other than Jaws 1? I mean, it's just right?
You know what? I have to go back and watch Jaws 2 because maybe Jaws 2 is good. I don't know.
It's a good time. It's a good time. And then there's the one with fucking Michael Caine in it. It's so weird that Michael Caine's in a shitty Jaws sequel.
Yeah.
But no, it's Jaws for me as well. I think that's gonna be everybody's answer for that one. What do we got? I quit looking at my hand. I'm trying to fucking scroll here, you piece of shit. Stop it. I love you.
I think we hit them all.
Did we? Yeah. All right, go.
I think we've done all of it.
No way.
Yeah, dude. I think
I'd be impressed.
Oh, no, Saul right there. Saul.
Oh yeah, Saul. That's a tough one. Not the best again. The most rewatchable Saul film. I hate to say it. It's so but it's the original for me.
It's getting kind of I was gonna say it's getting kind of trope, but it's Saul 1. I mean. I remember watching that the first time and that scene, and I think I watched it on HBO back when there was just one HBO, and it was like and it came on, and it was like maybe it wasn't on HBO, maybe I bought it, I don't remember, but that scene where he like stands up and like it's revealed who the killer is, and that music comes on, holy fucking shit, dude, and he won, the bad guy won. That was one of the first times I remember watching a horror movie or any movie for a while that the bad guy wins, because he essentially wins that movie.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people, so I will put this one to a vote because I know people do love Saw 2. I find Saw 2 to be hard to rewatch because the giant guy, the big muscles dude that's running around gets on my fucking nerves so much. But even worse than him that gets on my nerves is the one dude who's like, oh, the entire fucking movie, like he's so annoying as shit. And then he's like, and it's just it's the corniest, most what's the word I'm looking for? Stereotype. It's a stereotypical role. Like he's like, come on, man, me and you was in the yard together. We both black.
The muscle dude?
Black. No, not the muscle dude. The guy that was trying.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is so stereotypical shit. Well, like, I could not stand that guy. And Donnie Wahlberg was terrible in that fucking movie too.
I was gonna say, I actually like Donnie Wahlberg a little bit.
Really? Oh,
well, God. I feel like he did a good job. I feel like he played his part well. I mean, he was supposed to be kind of an unhinged moron that was like wasn't he like an alcoholic or something? And then him and his son's relationship was strained. I think he played that part well. And then I did like the reveal in that movie where like the kid was in the safe the entire time, and he's like, "If you just be patient," I thought that was cool because Jigsaw knew that he was going to be an impulsive asshole, so he played into that.
Yeah, and Saw 3 actually grosses me out. Like, it's so nasty with the pig guts and shit. It actually grosses me out in like a bad way. Saw 1's my definite answer, but if I had to pick a 2, I don't think Saw 10 was nearly as great as everybody else thought it was. If I had to pick a 2, I think it would be Saw 6.
Is that the one where the detective takes over?
Yeah, I think that's when Hoffman gets a good role and gets going. I think that one would be all right. But it's an easy one for me.
I like 10 a lot. But if I had to pick one after the first one, I know I probably would pick the second one just because the needle scene always fucks me up. When he throws, god damn, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'd have given up right then. All you would have seen would have been like doo-doo brown and yellow.
Old doo-doo brown.
I can't find the fucking key. I guess we're all gonna die because you literally threw me into a pile of needles.
So we go Saw 1, Saw 2, and then I guess Saw 10 because that's one of the most beloved one. And then finally, what should the last one be?
Don't put Spiral on there. That was goddamn. You remember when we were all hyped for that, and we were gonna like, oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be Return to Form, and it was bullshit.
I'll put Saw 6. Yeah, no, it's 6. 6 is the one. Yeah. So Saw 2, Saw 10, Saw 6. That's the poll for the last one of the night. Before we get to the chat. Let's see what you guys think. Now, there's some franchises that didn't make it into the list. Obviously, we can always do a part 2 and do some of the other ones, but this is at least I feel like the biggest.
Well, I like this though. This is a good list. I like the idea because we can do multiple. It doesn't always have to be horror. It could be like action of the 90s, or it could be it could be sci-fi. It could be all that shit.
Yeah, 100%. And this was because
we
did Alien earlier, Avery.
Yeah, we did Alien. No, we didn't do Alien.
We didn't do Alien.
We didn't do Alien.
I put Alien on Twitter. Thank you, Avery. Sorry. I knew that. And like, I was just trying to make everyone else feel better.
Okay, good. I didn't know you had it on there, but yeah. Okay. So
what's the most rewatchable Alien film? And why is it,
for me, it's Aliens, the James Cameron Aliens. Alien 1 is a pure horror film, without a doubt. Ridley Scott knocked it out of the park. In space, no one can hear you scream is one of the best taglines, period. And it's true. I mean, imagine that you're thousands of miles away from that's it. You have to rely on yourself and like the fucking drunkards and assholes that are on board with you. And that's all you have to go with. But Aliens, the Space Marines, what's his name? I think it was Bill Pullman.
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. Yeah, Bill Paxton. Dude, it's without Aliens took what Alien did and they just amplified it into another level with the second one. So for me, it's the second one all day long. And you got the Queen. It's just the second one.
I'm gonna say something brave. I'm gonna say something.
I know what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something brave because I'm a brave man.
Oh,
got a big old dick.
Get in there.
And I like to play with it.
Okay, well, go ahead and play with it.
It's not meant to be hidden. God gave it to me for a reason.
Yeah, say it. I know what you're gonna say.
I know what you're gonna say. The most rewatchable Alien film to me. Oh, you guys are gonna hate me for this. It's Prometheus. It's Prometheus. It
wow.
Is. I know.
A lot of people were calling Romulus for you?
No. It's Prometheus for me, buddy. It's
Choo.
I know. I've had just enough apple juice to tell my truth.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out.
People don't want to hear it. I know. And again, I'm not saying it's the best fucking alien movie. All right. This is the most rewatchable. And for me personally, if I had to pick for you guys, if I had to pick for everyone watching this, I wouldn't pick Prometheus. I'd pick something better for you. But for me, I've watched Prometheus more than I've watched any other alien movie, dude. I love them. I love them all. But dude, Prometheus, it's got that amazing score, that amazing cinematography. I fucking love David. I love Michael Fassbender's like, the trick, William Potter, is not minding that it hurts. Like, I could watch that shit all fucking day. It's beautiful.
Take his camera batteries.
They're dying. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's how I feel. I love watching.
I feel like Prometheus is a very cerebral movie, but I feel like even Ridley Scott got caught up with it. And he was like, "It's not about Alien at all. What are you talking about? It's its own thing." Oh,
I get it. Okay.
It's about
entertaining me. Dude, even the fucking opening, that big white motherfucker comes out there, gigantic.
Yeah, but they did, like, but they did that big white motherfucker better in Romulus.
I disagree with that. He did look cool though, but it's not bad.
I think in Romulus he was scarier. Yeah, but
dude, when fucking Guy Pearce's old ass walks up and the alien's like, "You talk to me like this," and he fucking just rips everybody apart. I love watching Prometheus over and over and over again. It's a fucking vibe. And suck my dick, guys. That's how I feel. Okay,
suck my big old Johnson.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'll be right back while we tally those votes. I gotta go pee. I'll be right.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people left when I said that, and that's all right. I understand. I wouldn't fucking listen to me either. That's how I feel, though. You got to be an honest man or woman. In the case of Saw, you guys agree that Saw is the most rewatchable of the franchise. 53%. Second best came Saw 2 is 20%. I'm going to put Alien to a vote now. And I may not even put Prometheus in the fucking vote because I get it. I understand. I'm weird. But Alien's got to go in there, right? Aliens got to go in there. And by the way, between those, I would pick the original Alien. Just want to say that. What else needs to be in there? Obviously not Alien 3. Covenant, I don't think it's going to get the votes it needs. So I guess I got a spot for a little bit of Prometheus in there. So I'll put Resurrection and I will put Prometheus in there. Just out of curiosity, see who feels like I do. Maybe no one. Maybe it'll get 0%. And that's okay. Because, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 sucks. And you guys are all wrong about that. So it's fine. It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. Be a little bitty old town on a big old city. Might as well sing, might as well smile. My battery's gonna die here in a little while. Hey, I would put them all in there. Deep throat guy, but it only allows me 4, or I would put them in there. So apologies for that. We gotta ask YouTube what their fucking problem is when it comes to that shit, because that's not on me, pal. I didn't forget Romulus, bruh. Is Romulus like Romulus? I love Romulus. To me, it's not got the most rewatchability. Like, the first half of that it's a really nice settling into what came before, but nothing really happens until about halfway through that film, right? All right, I'm gonna restart the fucking thing, guys. All right, don't vote. Don't fucking vote. I'm wrong. I'm gonna put Romulus in there. Suck me beautiful. Okay? Hang on, Jay. I got you muted. No, I don't. You got yourself muted. I'll put Romulus in there.
Backing off, huh?
I didn't put it in there. I didn't think, I'm a man of the people. All right. I'm a man of the people, so I'm gonna put it in there. My bad. I didn't think it had a chance. I like it a lot. I just didn't think it was, as far as rewatchability, it had the.
I feel like Romulus. I liked it quite a bit. I've actually seen it 3 times, but I think Aliens is like that's top notch cinema.
All right, there's a new poll for you fucking dicks. I'm kidding. I love you. I'll have sex with all of you while your mom's watching. But yeah, votes up. Votes up. That's it. While the vote goes on, good job, everybody.
Hey, we did it. We got through the list.
That's a big fucking list, man.
We like that. We like that.
Apologies.
Like I could tell that Mike definitely wanted to speed this through, especially in the opening of the show when he was like, "All right, let's get past Chevy Chase and get to it."
Hey, listen. You waited until I pulled up the graphic. All right, I had the graphic, and Jay was like, "Let me tell this really long story about Chevy Chase."
I know, and I felt bad about bringing. No, And then I felt bad about it too. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have brought it up until like maybe at the end of the stream. I should have done it. But I was afraid that I would have too much apple juice and forget about it. So I was like, I gotta get it out. Like, it's like when you're like, I gotta tell you something really quick before I forget. It's like a gossip or something in high school. It's like if I forget this, I'll never get it out. And you're like, oh shit, I should have said it.
That's fair. I get control freak.
No, because we've actually had those moments happen before. We've had a large list, and we both have ADHD, and we get off on tangents and shit. And we'll talk about something for like 25 minutes.
I was laughing because I was like, "All right, here's the list," and Jay was like, "But wait, have you guys heard?"
I know. You're like, "Oh shit, I should have saved it." And then I was like, "Next time I'm just gonna write it on my fucking arm," and be like, "I gotta talk about that."
Yeah. Hang on, I gotta change my battery because it really is dying.
Clinton says, "Tell it again, Jay." No, I'm not going to. I forgot about it. Like, you got to go back and watch the beginning of the show. It is what it be. Jacob says Lakers not doing well. Well, that's because they don't have Kobe. Unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't watched the NBA in a long time. I wouldn't pick Lakers though. Is that your team, the Lakers? I don't know. I don't know about that. They are good though. I'm not gonna lie. They are good. Clinton says, get Post-it notes and tape them to your computer. No, I'm not gonna do that. Like, my computer's already like unstable as it is. Like, posting Post-it notes to it is just gonna make it. Jacob says no. Jacob, you literally, the way that you said that, you're like, no, is exactly how it would be like if I were trying to make conversation with with somebody at a bar that I don't, it's like I'm just hanging out by myself and I'm like, I don't know what they're watching sports, and I'm like, hey, is that your favorite team? And they're like, no. Daniel says Kobe or MJ. I mean, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player to ever live. I mean, you can't like deny that. Did you all go to yeah, we did. Mike, there was some Instagram live stuff that Mike posted, and then there's I guess a video that'll come out at some point later on. We shot some stuff. It was fun. It was well put together. I had a good time. It was set up very well. We went on Thursday. I was gonna say it felt like you could actually walk around and breathe and enjoy the various booths and things and all the work that they put into like showcasing these really cool things at Comic-Con versus like Scarefest. But that also is because we went on Thursday and there wasn't a huge crowd because all the celebrities weren't there yet. I mean, they didn't come in until Friday, but they had a really badass like never-ending story thing set up, and
that was cool. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we filmed a little bit of it, but then Mike pointed out, I was like, oh, it says no filming. I was like, oh fuck. And I already filmed all. I felt like such an asshole, dude, because I was like, goddamn Jimmy Olsen from the Daily Planet. I was like, oh yeah, look at all this shit. I was like, I wanted to be like, can I go over there and get some close-ups? And then I literally, the guy that made that particular set was sitting right there, and he was like looking at us. And then Mike was like, dude, it says don't film. I'm like, oh shit.
I don't know why this movie laughed. I'm gonna say that next time I get in a verbal argument with someone. I'm like, boy, you about to get lit up like a Christmas tree.
Somebody asked. Somebody's like, MJ or Kobe, greatest basketball player. I said MJ. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player of all time.
Yeah, I think it's Michael Jordan, but Kobe's my favorite basketball player of all time in the history of the world.
And then somebody said Larry Bird all the way. Larry Bird is good. I mean, if you can watch some of his highlight reels, Larry Bird was fucking good.
But you're racist.
He looks like one of those. What? He's another one of them Watts from Indiana. You got, you can't cheer for a Watt from Indiana. No, but no, Larry Bird always looked like one of those guys, like deceptively good. You would never expect that fucking guy to be able to play like he's white. And you'd be like, God damn. Well, not just he's white, he looks gangly. He looks like he never had a meal in his life.
Yes,
and he
covered in
I grew up in Ford in Indiana, and then he gets on the basketball court, and you're like, holy shit, that guy's going toe-to-toe with Magic Johnson. What the fuck?
Yeah. No, he was surprising. No, Comic-Con was great, dude. I'm going again tomorrow. I'm taking the kids tomorrow. Someone asked if we bought anything. I didn't. I almost bought several things that were really expensive. Like they had a talking Deadpool that was $100. They had another Deadpool head that was like $100.
Well, that guy was going to work with you too, though.
Yeah,
that guy said it was $150, but I think he would have gone down to $125.
Way too many cervezas in me to buy anything over $20 at that point. The main thing I'm going back for tomorrow, though, and this is really cool. They had and we filmed it. And by the way, I'm going to put up that video. If the audio is bad or
it looked like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. So there's a small chance that ends up as a Patreon video only. But there's a video that we're going to put out. But and there's some on Instagram that if you guys haven't followed us on Instagram, it's just We Watched Movie. We put up a couple videos on there that was pretty fun. But no. I'm going back tomorrow. I'm taking the kids early, and they had these cool ass fucking comic book reprints. At one booth.
Those are fucking awesome.
Yeah, and they were like $8 and $12.
They were $10 each.
Yeah, like they were around that, and they were like the original Action Comics or like the original appearance of Spider-Man. They were reprints, but they were really clean and nice. And
they had a metallic sheet. They were metallic.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna frame them and like put up a cool frame of like all the big. So I'm gonna buy those, dude, for sure.
Well, that was like the only thing I was gonna buy, and then I was like, "What are you, gay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was gonna. There was a football helmet I was gonna get for April, and it was an Eagles helmet. But I just thought it was the football helmet. You know, I was like, April would really like this football helmet, and then they were like, and then I was like, oh, it's signed by Travis Kelce. I was like, well, that just goes out the fucking window. I don't love her. That
was like $350, I think.
Yeah, it was like $350, and then the guy was like,
I was like, he's an offensive lineman, you fucking crooks.
Yeah, but the guy was like, well, actually, you can get them on NFL.com for $150 usually. I'm like, yeah, well, bitch, I'm here. I don't. You just have a regular one, like without a signature. Yeah, I can work with you, give you a hand job, give it for $80. But that was the only. But it was.
I did piss off one guy though.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
But it is what it is. We're not gonna I'm not gonna patronage his store, so it's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. But
we're looking at this guy's shit, right? We're looking at their booth, and there was nobody over there. And we're looking at, and we're filming, and we're being jackasses as we do, but we're not bothering anybody. And the guy came around to like pitch Jay on his sale, and I was like, well, I'm gonna walk away now. So I walked away, and I literally bought us a drink. And was holding the drink, holding the camera, came back to give it to you, and the guy was still hard selling.
Yeah, but you were running around going, "You're gay," or something. I don't know what you said. You yelled something.
I didn't say that. I just
not to the guy, but to me, you were making a joke about me, and I think the guy that talked to me, the English, there was definitely a situation of like, I know you're trying to communicate with me, and I'm trying to communicate with you, but there's definitely something lost in translation here. Yeah. And I pissed him off at one point because I said, "Oh, you like Michael Myers?" And he's like, "No, not me." He got serious. He's like, "No, not me." He's like, "My wife like Michael Myers." So we dress our Christmas tree up in Michael Myers. I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy, dude." Because I didn't know what to say. I thought he was trying to be like, "Oh yeah, I made all this shit." He didn't even make it.
All I said was when I walked by, I was like, "Oh, Jay's still talking to this guy," and like kept moving and like went to make another lap. But then apparently the guy was like, "Your friend make fun of me?"
No, the owner, the guy that actually owned the fucking booth came out after that, and he was like, then he got like real fucking like, I felt like I was in a goddamn meeting with Trump. He was like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "I'm not stealing anything. Like, I'm just hanging out." And I was like, "I like this piece," and I didn't want to buy anything. We were literally just filming it, but they like attached it to us, and I think they were trying to. I don't know what that was going on, and he was like, "Your buddy your buddy making a joke?" And I was like, "That's not my buddy." It's like, "Who are you talking about?" That's what I said. I was like, no. I was like, I don't know. I was like, that guy. I don't know. He's being crazy.
Jay came around the corner. He was like, "Dude."
Yeah, dude, because I thought that guy was going to get us thrown out. Like, legitimately, he was like, he's going to be like, these two fucking people that want to be on Jackass. What are they, Bam Margera? What are they doing?
Oh, by the way, I don't know.
He came out with like, this guy came out with dad energy, dude. Like straight fucking dad energy. He was like, it's like, boys, line up.
Yeah, it's weird because I felt that way like halfway through because we're walking through and we're holding up a camera, walking through this crowd of people, right? And we're holding it up and we're filming shit. And we've done this 100 times back in the day, but we're doing it again. And we had a couple of cervezas, and it's sure, you liquidate your assets. And then we liquidated our assets, and then we walked around the thing, and then. But I gotta feel like midway through it sunk into me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I was like, "Dude, we're like those asshole streamers who walk around."
Yeah, we were like IRL. We were like Poseidon Ice or Ice Poseidon walking and that hit me on Twitch.
we're like those annoying fucking teenagers who do this shit. And my mood immediately changed, and I was like, I'll put the fucking camera away, dude. I feel like an asshole.
I think it was fine. There was one, I couldn't let it go all fucking night. And I know I was like, God, just let it go. I can't. This one cocksucker, we were walking by and we had just started filming again. We had just had the camera out. We didn't have like a fancy, like, you know, like whatever, what are they called? Gimbal or anything like that. Yeah. It was just a regular, you know, we were holding the camera out. This guy's like, nice angle. Oh, I'm like, God, go get a fucking donut, you fat bitch. You cosplaying bitch hole. Because he was walking by, he's like, you're cool because you're walking with 4 fat guys that you think you're nerdy. And he's like, nice angle. I'm like, I bet your wife never told you that. I hated that. For whatever reason, I couldn't let that go.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not like we were going up to random people and be like, "So, what do you think about having sex with women?"
We like being really loud.
We were trying to film toys and shit, you know. But I did realize like we looked like those people, so I was like, "Ooh."
Well, to be fair, we weren't doing exactly what those IRL people do. We weren't invading anybody's spaces. We weren't like bullying into their space and like acting like pricks or whatever. And like we were knowledgeable on some of the we went to one booth and they had like a really cool Motu or Masters of the Universe thing, and I knew some about that, and I was talking to her about that, the lady at the booth. It wasn't like that, but it definitely was. I think everyone there on Thursday were like with the expectations, like there's no celebrities here.
Yeah,
this is just vendors. So walking around like that, maybe they were like, these guys are being pricks. I don't know. Maybe it did come off that way. I don't know.
And also, sometimes you go up to a booth and you're looking at their shit, and we're filming it because it's like, look at these cool Nintendo 64 games or whatever, and we're talking about them. But then someone, obviously and understandably, they want to make a sale, so they come up and they start talking to me, and I'm like, do I film this conversation? No, probably not. So I'll just turn the camera around to my chest, and then like, so we try to be respectful.
But, we didn't put.
I get why people would look at us and think we're assholes, though. So it's tough.
When we were looking at the video games, though, that one chick walked by us. She's like, I'd watch that. I'm like, okay, dig in more. Like, we'll like put this up because people will watch this. But no, it was. But beyond that, beyond some setbacks, it was a really, really well put together event. Really well put together event. It felt like there was 2 levels that we didn't get to journey down to the second level because we
tried to. We
like, but. The way they had it set up
in the drunk to taste this chicken.
Yeah, that shit don't taste like chicken. That tastes like frog. But they did a great job. They did a wonderful job, honestly. And how they had it all set up. You could move around. You could actually experience things in a lot more of a way than you can in Scarefest. So I even suggested to Mike, I was like, you know what? To be fair, I would be fine with getting a booth at Comic-Con. I know it doesn't really make sense on our wheelhouse because we're horror oriented, but they really had their shit together, dude. Like 100%.
No, and I totally I'm dead ass serious. It's not just because we had a bad run in with him or whatever, but like Comic-Con in Lexington is so well ran, and it's so much better than the experience with Scarefest. Like that, like you go in, your lines are there for your tickets. They get you tickets, you get right in. You don't have people hassling you and shit like that. It's such a nice fucking experience. Go to fucking Lexington Comic-Con if you like that shit. It's so great, man.
Really good.
And I can't wait to take the kids there tomorrow. But that being said, let's see what you guys have been talking about in the chit chat.
What you been saying? What you been saying right here?
What are you saying about my life? By the way, the poll for Aliens, Alien the franchise. You guys say the most rewatchable Alien film, unsurprisingly, is Aliens at 51 percentile. Second place is Alien at 24%. Third place, 17% say Romulus, and I'm proud of this vote.
I think that's great. I think that's great.
Fuck that 8% said Prometheus. Thank you. I'm not alone.
Disgusting.
You're not alone.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like that's you can say what you want about James Cameron, but I feel like what he did, he kept the spirit of Ridley Scott, and he bettered it. Which, by the way, you have to be someone on the caliber level of someone like Cameron to take something that as legendary as Ridley Scott and better it, which is what Cameron did.
Did a great job. Wild Willie said Red Dragon was a remake of Manhunter. It was. Manhunter's still fucking good, though. You guys got to watch that shit. Biscuit Boogie said, Mike, I agree with you about Manhunter 100%. Yeah, watch that shit, guys. I promise you. If you're a fucking true crime person or just like David Fincher shit, if you liked the show, what was the show called on Netflix? Big show they canceled.
How to Be a Killer, or How to Catch a Killer, or How to Make Your Mom a Killer. What was it called?
I want to say it was Manhunter or some shit. It was the David Fincher show.
It was Mindhunter.
It's if you like that, you love fucking Manhunter. Byron, Amityville 2 is the best supernatural movie ever. I can't go there with you, Darkwing Duck. Wow. But fucking underrated ass.
Bold choice. Bold.
Good movie. Kyle said, I bought 7 on 4K. Watched last night. So good. Dude, yeah. I took MJ to see, I told you guys for the first time seeing 7. I thought it was going to be an IMAX experience. It wasn't. It was a fake ass fucking IMAX. But still, yeah. Great fucking 4K.
He told me to fuck her, so I fucked her.
I did.
With a knife dildo. What?
Hey, I'm guilty. Byron says, y'all seen the TV show Teen Wolf? Was around the 2010s. It was badass werewolf TV. Dude got silly at some points, but the craziest thing was they did have a Nazi alpha werewolf during World War II.
That would make sense. If Hitler could find out how to turn hairy men into fucking werewolves and put them on the battlefield, that would make sense. I've never seen it. I never watched it, but I know that it got high praise. I feel like for me, when I heard about them making a Teen Wolf TV show, I really thought they were going to make it like the Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf, where it was going to be like a kid in high school.
No, it was like a hot, sexy teenage thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was like it was like a Supernatural or some shit, or not Supernatural, but more like what's that vampire show? Vampire Diaries, but with werewolves. But I thought it was going to be like Michael J. Fox stuff, but that's why I never got into that shit.
No, it's about hot teen dudes, which is usually in my wheelhouse, But not today.
It's not weird.
Oh God, I can't believe I said that out loud. Austin says, Mike, Halloween Kills has Duke Nukem energy and a Doom soundtrack. Plus, on the Carpenter edition, Michael breaks Corey Bain style through, thus preventing ends. That didn't like. Breaks Corey. I wish it did. I would like to watch that film.
That would be great.
As I recall, it was a horror.
But Halloween Kills has a Duke Nukem energy. I guess.
I gotta see what you're saying there.
But
the soundtrack for sure.
Yeah, and I'm currently playing Doom. I'm going back. I'm playing Doom 2016. And then I'm going to get to Doom Eternal. I'm getting ready for Doom Dark Ages. Is why I'm doing that. But it's good times.
Dude, I gotta tell you this. MJ, my 15-year-old, was telling me today she was looking at a TikTok page, and it was just a funny TikTok or whatever. But somebody responded like to her response to it, and they like did this long diatribe about how like you need to be like they were like it was like a Christian thing, and it was like a long thing about how you need to repent and all this stuff like that, just randomly out of place. She said, I responded to it, doo-doo poop.
That's the only appropriate response around here. I wish, dude, I swear to God, dude.
Prouder in my life.
I swear to God, dude, this is not like, it's coincidental. I didn't bring it up because we haven't streamed in a minute, but last week, there was a knock on the door and I was pooping, so I didn't answer it, but April did. And I was just walking out trying to hide the poop smell, the shame. And I went back in because she was talking to someone at the door. Like I was like a vampire, but I did like this. I was just listening.
You let your wife answer the door for the stranger?
No, I was pooping.
You just ran away?
No, I was pooping. And I immediately jumped up to try to like wipe my butt real quick and, to get out there. But then I opened the door and she was still talking. So I closed it like Dracula because I didn't want the smell to get out because I didn't know who our guests were going to be. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." And then she walked out, or she walked from the door, and she's like, "Yeah." So they were just like spreading the message of Jesus. And I'm like, Jesus. But they were. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "God, it sounded like a horror movie." They knocked on. This is what it was, dude. They knocked on the door. There's a black guy and a white guy, and the white guy was like standing off to the side. So you couldn't see him, and the black dude was standing out at an angle, so you couldn't see him. But if you peeped through the peephole, this is these fuckers do it, dude. They were Jehovah Witnesses, and they knew that if you looked through the peephole, you wouldn't answer the door because they were dressed in like the tie and shit. But she answered the door, and they're like,
"Your apartment complex," and like,
dude, and there is a no solicitation thing on the fucking front gate. So anyway, she was like, "Hello, how are you?" And they were like, "Hi, how are you?" And they're like, "Yeah, good." And then they're like, "Have you heard about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior?" And then she was like, "Yeah, we believe in Jesus around here, but there's no solicitation." And she's like, "We're not soliciting. We're selling the message of Jesus." like it was like that, dude. Like that's exactly how she. And I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. And I was like, did they look down the hallway and see the posters of Hellraiser and Halloween and all that shit? I was like, probably. They're like, we must save this sauce before they are totally down. But anyway, she was like, no, there's no solicitation, and then she left. But we contacted the property manager and we told, and like she's like, yeah, we know about them. We tried to, like, she's like, I was coming out of the complex to get them, but they'd already bicycled away. They were on their bikes, like hitting the highway. Because, and here's the thing, and what was funny about that, the week prior to that, I heard knocking in the hallway in my apartment complex, and I looked at the people, and they were at the door right across from us doing the same shit. The white dude was like pushed up against the corner like that. I thought they were cops because we just had Krakosaurus arrested.
They're
so I
cops
thought they were
from Jesus.
Yeah, no, I thought it was like, oh, it was another sting operation, but no, they were cops from Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, I hate that shit, dude.
No, that's so fucking annoying.
Like, I believe in God and everything, but that shit's annoying as fuck. Like,
yeah, leave people alone. Leave Brittany alone. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Your apartment complex is crazy because, like, one day there's a murderer being arrested, and the next they're trying to recruit you.
But maybe that's why Jesus came here, because there was a murderer next door.
You should have been like, "Hey, we're good. Like, we're saved and shit."
But you know what it was?
But like next door, they need Jesus.
The property manager told us that they were like they dropped them off by the busload. Like, they just come out like a clown car, all these Jehovah Witnesses, crazy. And go out on bicycles, and they start going into different neighborhoods. Like, holy shit.
That's fucking nuts, dude. I'd get so mad. Did we read us? Oh yeah.
No, I
didn't. Byron
Hansen.
A Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies based on the recent game and use the new characters such as Johnny, Sissy, Nancy, and Hans would be interesting. The game is dying.
Well, I think it's been dying for like 6 months. But yeah, I don't think. Listen, man. Here's the thing about those kind of games. The game itself looked fun. Mike and I actually played it a little bit on stream one night.
Enjoyed it. It's a good time.
It was fun, but there's nothing out there right now that is even close to taking down Dead by Daylight. Nothing.
Are people still playing Dead by Daylight?
Fuck yeah, dude. Like, it's
still going on.
Huge wiener of a community. It's never going away. Like, you got to come out with something real big to beat that.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I appreciate the shit out of Gun Media and what they do. I think it's really cool that they do those games. I'm just really hoping for some cool campaign horror games, Let's get out of the multiplayer shit and get into some cool new shit. That's what I'd like to see.
Sure.
Absolutely fucking Katie Soundbottom, who I love so fucking much, deep into tonight and always on Tuesday, says, what did I miss? Did we get crazy with the stick? I love your faces. Love you too, Katie. We did. We got a little crazy with the stick.
Elijah Wood was not here, but in spirit he was.
JGL was, though. Bradley Champagne says, love you guys. You guys helped me a lot, but great stream. Puffs pass, Loomis.
I don't smoke that shit. Puff it yourself, you asshole.
You imagine somebody trying to pass Loomis a J. Like, get that shit out of my face.
I don't. What is that? You know what that smells like? Unemployment. That's what that smells like.
I have to take drug test on Tuesday at Smith's Grove. Tiffany said, hey guys, I'm probably too late, but out of major franchises, what movie, i.e. part blank, have you tried to watch, but you just can't because it sucks?
That's a great question. I can't, like, I've tried. I can't make it through Twilight. Can't do it.
I've seen multiple Twilight movies. Harry Potter would be a major one for me. Can't get through those fucking movies.
Great series.
Lord of the Rings. Same.
Wow.
Thing.
Wow.
Dog shit films.
No, amazing films.
Dog shit films.
Amazing.
Horror wise, I'll tell you, Deader, Hellraiser Deader was almost impossible for me to get through. Like, I fucking had to like tape my eyelids open and force myself to sit through that shit as far as horror franchises go. But
she asked, okay, I can't get through. Yeah, it's Twilight, Maze Runner. I can't do it. And I can't get through. And I know people are going to hate me for this, much as they hate me for the Lord of the Rings comment. I can't get through the Hunger Games at all.
Yeah,
I feel like they're boring as fucking fuck. I understand some people liking them, maybe if you read the books and shit, but I think they're boring.
Fast and Furious, can't get through those movies either. I think they're trash. There's quite a few, actually, Tiffany. Thank you, by the way. It was the Boogeyman. Says trivia time. In what 90s gangster movie can you see the Halloween 4 poster? Carlito's Way, King of New York, or Goodfellas? It's definitely not Goodfellas.
Oh, that's a good one. In what 90s gangster movie can you see Halloween 4 poster? Kings of New York. It's not Goodfellas. It's not Goodfellas. No. That's ruled out.
I'm going Kings of New York. It's the only one I haven't seen.
I think it's Kings of New York. That's what I think it is.
I feel like I would recognize it in another movie. So, but I've always wanted to see that movie. I literally own the Blu-ray for it and I've never watched it. Space Ghettos 93, member for 7 months, says Mike hates The Conjuring. Hate for The Conjuring is mine for Hereditary. Some people really hate Hereditary.
I felt like it was an overrated movie. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good. I actually think the story is really, really solid. But as far as like being horror, I always thought it was overrated. Like people are like, "Oh my god, the little girl's head got kicked off by a goddamn light pole." Well, she shouldn't have been sticking her head out the window after eating peanut butter.
Should have been standing there.
Yeah.
Matt Roberts says, "I'm late to the stream. Just want to say hi, boys. Hello, Matt Roberts. Thanks for hanging, buddy." Michael Parton says, "Where would you rank these franchises? Piranha, Basket Case, Sleepaway Camp, Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead, Critters, Maniac Cop, The Prophecy." That's a big list, Mike.
Well, I think that Piranha would be low, like on the low end. Basket Case would be pretty low. Sleepaway Camp, not. I think number one, The Prophecy. Viggo Mortensen as the devil. You know what? We're gonna go through this quick. Prophecy, Return of the Living Dead, Critters, Maniac Cop, Sleepaway Camp, Reanimator, Basket Case, and Piranha.
Yeah, not too far off myself. Number one, I'm going with Prophecy as well. I love Prophecy. Prophecy's free. I'm going Reanimator 2. I'm going Return of the Living Dead. I'm going Basket Case. I'm going Maniac Cop. I'm going Sleepaway Camp, Critters. Piranha is also my last one. Those are some lower tier things, but there's some great movies in those. The Basket Case movies are great. Well, Willie says, "What is the most rewatchable Rocky and why is it 4?" I have no notes.
You answer your question.
I have no fucking notes, dude.
Why do you ask questions which you already know the answers?
0 notes. You're absolutely correct. Nighttime says, "If you or Jay ever took a dump on live stream break?" Oh yeah.
I never. No, because like when I take a dump, it's an event. Like you got to sell tickets to it. You know, it might be a couple of days. Yeah, there's a candle thing. There's a whole ceremony. So I won't do that because I'll never come back on stream. Like I get really into my poops. My poops are like my majesty moments. Like I get really into it, and then I start looking at my phone about. That's where I get all my political updates. I literally poop and look at politic updates.
They're basically the same thing, so I get it.
That's what I do.
I will say absolutely yes. We had a Patreon stream one night where I had Chipotle that day, and I got the red hot like. The hottest sauce that they have, which is it's not that hot to taste, like, but it's the dark red sauce, and I got it on there. Delicious, wonderful. But dude, the poops hit me right before the stream, and
that's the worst feeling ever. Well, I take a shit before stream, and like it like without a doubt, like about
took a shit before this stream.
Yeah, no matter what, dude, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes before stream, I got to take a dump.
Oh yeah, it hits you. It's the nervousness. Not that we get nervous, but like the excitement, I guess it just hits you. Yeah. And also, by the way, I don't ever vape or anything unless I'm drinking, and I'll wait to drink or do anything if we're gonna drink when we do a stream. I'll wait, and then usually I wait till like a half an hour before. Like literally tonight, like I was like this. I was like, I got to shit. As soon as you start that, it's immediately like it kicks in.
For me, it's like I can't drink at all before stream. I mean, with you, I can't. If we're hanging out doing Patreon or whatever, that's different. I mean, but if I'm like, if we're doing it like remote, I'm like, if I start drinking,
well,
what's going to happen is I'm going to be like I'm going to be about 45, 50 minutes late.
The worst it gets for me is we hang out with my stepmother. She's call her my mother, Kate's mom. Sometimes we'll go out to dinner with her before, because she knows we'll have a stream. We'll go have dinner, and we'll have like one or two drinking before. So I'll do that sometimes. But normally it's like I'll start like half an hour before, because you want to be on your game. And then about hour 3, then you start to say crazy dumb shit. But I will say this: no, that one time though, the dark ones hit right before the stream. And I remember, dude, I was sitting there in that Patreon stream and we were having a great time, but I started sweating and I was like, this is not good. And you remember I had to stop like 20 minutes in the stream and run away. And I went and I pooped and I looked down in the toilet, dude, and it was blood, like blood. And I fucking freaked out. You know, I have medical anxiety, so that scared the shit out of me. So I was like Googling it. And I'm not being gross here because it wasn't actually blood. I looked it up and like there was literally a Reddit post that was like, dude, everybody was the same thing. They were like, I had the dark red shit at Chipotle and I thought that I shit blood. And I was like, oh, fucking thank God. Because I freaked out. But apparently that dark red shit, I haven't had it since because it comes out hot and it comes out looking dark. Like
I do. Well, I live and die by Pepto-Bismol capsules.
Oh, yeah.
Anymore, especially when you hit a certain age. I'm 41 now, so I definitely like live and die by them. And I didn't know that when you take them or you drink it, your shit turns black.
Yep.
I was like, when I pooped and I saw that black, I'm like, all right, well, you got to get your affairs in order. you got to get a living will.
That's how it feels.
I was like, you got to get a living will going, and then I got to go on stream and tell everyone, hey, I had a banger of time. But I pooped black and the death is on the door.
Dying tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Yeah, we both have anxiety, but that's especially like when you see that shit in the toilet, you're like, God, damn.
I'm a regular Pepto abuser, so I get it. Yeah. Yeah. And now it's just like, oh, look, I had Pepto today. Now it's like you're used to it. Rotten, sorry for that gross soliloquy we just did there. Rotten Apple says, what were your thoughts on the monkey? Love you guys. Loved it. Thought it was fucking awesome. 9 out of 10 for me. Jay's a dumbass, so he didn't like it.
Okay, Valentine Eyes. What did the popular vote say? They voted with me. They voted with me.
No, everybody liked the monkey. You're wrong. Everybody liked the monkey.
You're wrong.
No,
they
you're wrong.
did not. They did not.
Loved it.
They
said,
oh, it's a mini King Kong? That's stupid. No, I thought the monkey was okay. I just felt like it was some of the comedy worked and some of the comedy didn't. And I feel like what happened with that movie was I enjoyed it, and then it felt like they got too silly. And then sometimes I don't know, it didn't flow. Like when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool. And then I'm like, yeah, what the fuck are we doing here? That's not funny.
I get that.
Is that Corey from Halloween Ends? Fuck you. I don't know. The death scenes were cool. Again, they showed a lot of it in the trailer. I just feel like it could have been a better movie, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't hate it. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
You just didn't like it as much as everyone else did, who was right. So that's fine. There's no worries about that.
Why don't you stick that in your ass and smoke it?
Maybe I will do both, one before the other.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Rod Apple also asked, "What's your favorite Metal Gear game if you have one?" Mine was the original, dude. The first one. I had a great time playing that. Sucked, didn't understand it, was a dumbass at it, but I had a good time with that.
Yep, Metal Gear solid.
Yeah. Hey, we got Kyle in here just giving out 1,
hey,
2,
thanks, Kyle.
3, 4. We watched the movie.
Wow, man. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
Man, the people, Kyle. Thanks, buddy. Kyle. Billy says, Lewis, I need my weed whacker back that you murdered.
Yeah, well, you know what? The first thing you need to have back is the goddamn sperm your daddy gave your mama's egg. Look at your goddamn picture. What are you? You goddamn cretin. Look like a goddamn reject from Hills Have Eyes. Don't you dare come here. I didn't borrow no weed whacker.
What's fucked up about that is Jay and I did the Redneck Scream video, and the end of that video where the killer reveals himself, it was deep writing. Most people can't do it. We can. It's not a problem. We understand. But the reveal of that was like, I know it was me, Ed. It was like you borrowed my weed whacker and you didn't return it.
Oh yeah.
But I swear to God, dude, like 6 months ago, there was a fucking big news story in Kentucky where a dude killed another dude. And I swear to God, part of the news story was that he borrowed his weed eater and didn't return it. Like that was a real fucking thing that happened.
By the way,
look it up. It's real in Kentucky.
I say weed eater because that's what it goddamn is. It eats weeds. But when April heard it, she's like, weed eater? What the fuck is a weed eater? I'm like, it's a weed eater. And she's like, it's weed whacker.
Technically, it does whack them, but we call them weed eaters.
But I think they call weed whackers. But I was like, weed eater. It's like, can I borrow your weed eater? Maybe that's a Southern thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I always thought it was weed eater.
I thought it was. Yeah.
Kyle said the Wrong Turn franchise was shit. Remake was good. I had that on the list. Didn't even include it because like none of those movies are rewatchable for the most fucking part. They all suck.
Yeah, I might. Yeah. Even the remake, it'd be a stretch to get me to rewatch that, but it's all right.
Yeah. And finally, we were correct, by the way. H4 poster was in Kings of New York. We are worthy.
There
We're
we
not
go.
worthy.
There
We're
we
not worthy.
go.
We are worthy.
There we
You
go.
guys
Thank
are
you.
worthy. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a fucking blast, as it always goddamn is. We appreciate you guys so much, and even the 3 people who watched on Instagram tonight.
You guys are champions.
We'll be back live again soon. Thank you guys so much. You guys keep us going the way you support us in these live streams, and we love you and we appreciate you so fucking much. We'll see you guys soon with another one.
See you guys. Bye.
Good night. I like men.